Hey everybody, how is it going? I may need to restart OBS if it's gonna be doing nonsense like it seems to be doing right now. Okay, give me one moment, guys. I'm gonna need to fix this. Shouldn't be more than a minute though. BRB. Is it actually working now? Actually looks like it is, so we can kick it off now, officially. Let's go. Okay. So, we're streaming Twist's Legendary Lords tournament. This is the final qualifier event. There will be a losers bracket potentially for future folks to be allowed in. I believe the idea is that the losers bracket will play out between people who have played factions and characters already. They'll get a random one that they've already played, and then they'll just have to run it and, you know, see what they ultimately end up with. What the hell is this tournament? Oh, LOL, all the top 16 players are banned from this tournament. That's so funny. Anyways, we're not involved in that. It does look kind of goofy, though. Let's get in here and see who our... oh, we don't actually have a first game. Damn, okay, we got a bye round for round one. Let me actually go grab a scrambled egg, then. See what Scrambled has to say. I'd love to be able to get some, get a game going early. So it looks like Scrambled is gonna hook us up. No, I don't need to actually play in the match. God damn it. Okay, that's the name of the lobby at least. There we go. So, we'll just chill here for a bit. Scrambled is going to be playing Skaven, and I think... Who's his opponent? Bloodping? Or Ulrich Rahl, who's on Slanesh, I believe, which is going to be a really brutal matchup for the Skaven. Skaven do have tools, though. I don't remember which Legendary Lord Scrambled is playing. I think it might be Stinky Boy Skrulk. Where's our boy? I'm playing Iltharion today. I just said whatever, screw it. We'll go deep on the High Elves, I guess. Oh, it's actually Tzeentch, so it's going to be Sartorial versus Ikit Claw. That's going to be a fun matchup. Tzeentch, actually, I don't think has a very good matchup into the Skaven. Out of all of the Chaos factions, I think that Tzeentch might have a rough time against the Raki. Just because of the aerial control that Howling Warp Gale provides. There's some other setups you can do to kind of mess with air forces. Rattling guns are very strong now, and they've always been decent against flyers. Now they're just especially good against them. So I'm a little bit worried for Sartorial here. He's honestly fairly squishy. There's also going to be Flensing Ruin that you've got to worry about. So there's quite a lot to put such an expensive character under a great deal of pressure. Let's go to Skaven real quick and see what the required units are. We need to see... So Ikit Claw's got to bring a Warp Grinder or a Warp Fire Thrower, as well as 3 Rattling Guns or 3 Warplock Jezzails. And then you also have to have the Ikit Zap Zap Cannon. That's an expensive army to rock out with immediately. Whew, okay. I think, though, it'll be alright. I mean, you just bring a bunch of Skaven slaves to catch early dives with, and then you just delete everything with all your firepower, I guess. And let's see what Tzeentch has got going for it. What do they have to be bringing? I can actually bring you guys over real quick so that you can see this. Get away from that. So this is Sartorial, 2 Forsaken and 2 Chaos Spawn. It's kind of a brick type of army. It's not going to be, it's not super weak to Skaven. Chaos Spawn are actually fairly decent into the Skaven in my experience. Just because Rat Ogres actually do get messed up by the weapon strength on Chaos Spawn oftentimes. Tzeentch Chaos Spawn also have a shield, the Overshield, and they have Armor Sundering, which will be really nice. Might be able to break down any Storm Vermin that might get brought out by the Skaven here. And here's Ikit, as you can see. He's going to be a little bit hard to execute with, I think, with this build, because this is a lot to have to protect. I mean, this is 5 expensive ranged pieces that you have to have available. I guess the Warp Grinder is the most likely over the Warp Fire Thrower, so really, honestly, actually, I guess it's really 4 ranged pieces and then 1 snare. I wouldn't imagine that Scrambled's going to deviate too much from that. I don't see a Warp Fire Thrower being all that useful into Tzeentch. Not a lot of damage opportunities, I would think, but we'll have to see. You never know what people are going to bring when they've got crazy requirements like this, you know. Like, Archeon had to bring a whole bunch of wild stuff. He couldn't bring, like, any marked units. Didn't end up doing too hot as a result. And Kolek with the Dragon Ogres. Dragon Ogres are just not that good, unfortunately. Very expensive unit that is a little too hyper-specialized. Alright, Ulrich's here, so shouldn't be too long before we get this kicked off. They'll just be army building. And we'll see who's going to be taking the game in the here and now. Oh, you know what we need to do also? Give me just a minute while I do something, and we'll get back to looking at our Google Doc that we were checking out just a minute ago. Because I definitely need to take a peek at what I'm going to be game planning for my faction build, because I don't play a ton of High Elves. I played them pretty solidly for about a month, couple months ago. This is honestly not a bad army. This looks very manageable, actually. Silvering Guard and Warlions are both really good options. A couple of Rangers and Vanguard, a Lion Chariot. Lion Chariot's are really strong, so I don't hate this at all. A Lithanar would be a little bit harder to use. And we did see a Lariel almost make it with their build. Charix was playing her, wasn't able to fully carry it through. But did on one of the harder factions, I would say, for this whole thing. Where are the Wood Elves? Here they are. Charix ended up advancing with Orion, with Ariel, and Wild Hunters of Kurnus in a lot of those builds. Orion is fairly pricey, so that was a really impressive showing from Charix. See if he's able to stay as slippery in the future, though. That's what he was playing. And then, way up here. A little bit too far. This is what I'm going to be having to work with. Lion Chariot, Silverin Guard, and Rangers. So it's going to be a fairly pricey opener, but it's a fairly aggressive one that I think I could use to push around some factions, and there's a little bit of wiggle room here with the choice between War Lions and Silverins. I think either or is going to work pretty nicely, depending on the situation. I don't think I have too much to worry about. Oh my god, let me get away from that. Now, Ulrich Rahl is typically known as an Empire main. And is fairly versatile with a couple of other factions like Ogre Kingdoms, and I think I've seen him play Bretonnia some. But on Warhammer 3 launch, I played Ulrich a decent amount, and he was very good at Tzeentch. That was a long time ago, obviously. You know, it's been quite a while since launch time of this game. I don't know how practiced he is with this faction anymore, because I just haven't really seen him playing it a whole lot. But if he's picking it here, I feel like that's got to show some level of confidence. Because there were some other factions and options that might have been a little bit easier to pick from. Yeah, we got Big Boy Sartorial in the sky with just Searing Doom. Not bad at all. A little surprised to not see Final Transmutation. But, you know, got the Spawn in here. You got the Forsaken. You got 3 Forsaken, actually. You got a Chaos Warrior. Excuse me, a Chaos Warrior. 2 Zangors and a Marauder. And Ikit, of course, with his just meaty front line of 5 clan rats. And then a million guns to back that up. It's a really good missile map. Which is one of the things that I am a little bit worried about Ulrich for. Because Skaven can flood the field with bodies. For one, and there's actually a lot of space that gets cut off on this map that keeps missiles in a pretty good position. I mean, just keep them up on this big old rampart here, and just blast down onto the objectives, especially with stuff like the Jezzails. I mean, you can see that they basically reach all the way into the objective, like, and they're literally inside the spawn zone still. So it could be a little bit difficult for Tzeentch to reach up in there. Especially with such an infantry-heavy build. I mean, it's just all-out heavy metal infantry, really. But we'll see about it. I mean, these spawn are pretty dangerous. They do a lot of damage. Their barrier's pretty juicy. Melee attack is a little low. That's always been one of my bigger gripes with Spawn as a unit. Like, the Unbreakable is really nice, but very rarely do Spawn get their value back in my experience. This Zinch spawn tend to be a little bit more consistent at it. Just look at these guys. Yeah. They really do look like the Flood Hulk forms from Halo 3 to me. That is truly vile. It's Colonel KFC up in the sky here. He's got his weird tentacle drumstick, and he's going to be looking for some opportunities to blast apart weapon teams with Searing Doom. Searing Doom does a lot of damage to those weapon teams, man. It's very effective. We've got Howling Warp Gale and Death Frenzy, no Flensing Ruin. Scrambled going for a very interesting style here. It gets Zap Cannon, increases cooldowns, which does mean that Sartorial might not be able to cast his magic if he's getting hit by this thing consistently. So he's kind of skirting the edge of the cone here on its Arc of Fire. And the Zap Cannon looking to get lined up. Sartorial just going to go and fly out of range while the Zangors get up on the point and get settled in. The Skaven are moving forward. You got a couple of Clane Rats moving in, or just one moving out. Scrambled being very discerning about the supplies. Arc with a decent amount banked up here. 1,300, I'm not sure what he's going to be saving up for. I don't know what's in reserve here. Let's see, very, very slow build-up developing. And Shrieking Skyray is going to be the first summon for Zinch there. Yeah, I wouldn't really be pressing any as the Skaven. You don't want to pull your artillery any farther forward, I would think. They're going to be accurate enough sitting on this hillside. Shouldn't mess with them too badly. You got the Teeth Breakers out in the open here. They do have concealment bombs. They're visible while they're just chilling out here in the open, but once they pop this, they'll be able to maneuver around fairly safely for a pretty extended period of time. 73 seconds is forever, honestly. For a stalked unit, gotta like that. Clane Rats do get hit by the Shrieking Skyray's ability, the Lamprey's Bite. Pretty good at clearing out chaff, so just a little bit of poke early. I have no idea how Scrambled has the lead here. Oh, the Jezzail's hammering the Zangors over here. Getting a little bit of damage, nothing too severe. Natty Boobos are going to be pulling back. More Clane Rats coming out. Got a Wolf Rat waiting in the back line here just to sweep up any diving units potentially. You can see these high-level players are always very patient as they build up pressure. See, Ulrich is reaching the tendrils kind of as far around the edge of the battlefield as he can. Obviously, this side is a little constricted just because the points are being held by the Skaven along this front. The other side, though, there's a little bit of forest protection. I honestly don't know if it wouldn't be worth it to get up in the trees already. You could have your Zangors sit right in front of this Vanguard deploy zone and then have the Forsaken up around here to spring when the time is right, potentially. Marauders in the spawn, waiting in the forest. Forsaken waiting over here. I mean, it seems like Ulrich wants to go for an aggressive push on this flank. And then maybe try and trickle these units in and around to try and get through gaps in the formation. We get a Doomflayer coming up. Doomflayer is very powerful. Definitely going to be a very serious threat to the Zangors and the Forsaken especially. They get folded up by these chariots. The Chaos Warriors will also suffer, but a little bit less so. They're a little bit more resilient on average. I think it has to do with their formation being fairly tightly packed and the mass on them. Forsaken have pretty high mass, but they got fewer models, and I don't know what it is about Forsaken. It doesn't seem like they stop units up quite as effectively as you would expect for something with this much mass, but I don't know. That could just be anecdotal experience. Looks like the Zangors are going to be moving in now. Zinch is going for the press immediately. You've got a very, very large number of infantry that the Clan Rats are just not going to be able to scrap against. Zangors are very easily going to beat a Clan Rat one-on-one. So the damage in the early portions of this game are going to be absolutely critical for the Skaven. And a beautiful Searing Doom coming down. You can see the Gisele's getting hammered by that overcasted Searing Doom. Down to less than half HP. But Sartorial hammered by Howling Warp Gale, and he is taking horrible damage here. Not enough in position from Scrambled Egg to follow this up, though. Teethbreaker's out of position. Icket Zap Zap Cannon, the one doing the majority of the work here. It is going to stop him from casting spells a little bit, and he is down to 5,000 HP here. But the front line has engaged fairly cleanly, I would say. The Doomflayers are a little trapped in this Zangor unit right now as well. The Spawn getting obliterated by the firepower from the Natty Boobos and the Teethbreakers. Zangor's pushing up and through, and the Warpfire throwers having a little bit of problem focus firing here. We do get a nice volley, though, and it is going to break up that dive by the Zangors. You can see the Forsaken fairly caught up here, but we do have a push through with the Spawn of Tzeentch here. Getting intercepted by the Rat Ogres, which is amazing. And an unsummon on the Zap Zap Cannon, actually. Getting it off the field. Sartorial is very beat up. Less than half HP. Icket's looking pretty healthy, honestly. Look at the value lead on Scrambled Egg right now. 2,500 and 4,900 respectively for the two factions here. Teethbreaker's getting jumped on by the Shrieking Skyrays. Gonna be pretty painful. These guys are gonna have a pretty hard time pulling out. But Wolf Rats with the poison, able to collapse on the Shrieking Skyrays and ripping them up really nicely right now. That Howling Warp Gale actually going off currently and keeping them locked on the ground. Where they're just going to get chewed up by the Wolf Rats here, who have gotten their value back, which is damn nice. The Forsaken did push around the side of the map as I expected here, and they do get on top of the Warpfire throwers. Natty Boobos pulling back. Warplock Gisele's here. They did take all that HP damage early, but they're looking real healthy and poking down the Chaos Chariot. Actually able to kill it. Another Chaos Chariot comes in, though, but going to get stuck on the Rat Ogres. Very poor charge there. The leadership on both these units is wavering. It could end up evening out, but just you can see how dangerous the Skaven weapon teams are. Just a mere moment of being locked down here is allowing the Teethbreakers, who have gotten free, to really unload on this expensive chariot. These chariots are 850 gold. And very low impact so far. Only 200 value on them. Spawn over here with the Forsaken actually holding up pretty nicely. The Rat Ogres, though, are causing quite a bit of attrition here. Skaven Slave Spears are helping out the Rat Ogres with a little bit of buffering for damage. And that is a really nice Searing Doom, but on some very low value targets. It's just Clan Rats that they're hitting there. Doomflayers have gotten their value. They do get bullied by Sartorial a little bit here. The Terror could be a problem for the Skaven in the late game, but these weapon teams being as healthy as they are is a real issue. You can be down against the Skaven, but only if you've killed all their weapon teams. If you're down against the Skaven and their weapon teams are set up in a firing line like this, you are probably going to get clowned on, because they're going to continue to summon out Rat Ogres, Wolf Rats, and all of the icky nasties that you can imagine. And look at Sartorial being nuked out of existence right now. Another Howling Warp Gale locking him down, and just further torment from the Teethbreakers and Natty Boobos, and poor Sartorial gets smacked out of the sky here. Beautiful play by his Scrambled Eggs so far. More Spawn coming in, and more firepower coming down. Those Natty Boobos probably have a pretty good amount of value, and looks like Ulrich is going to be tapping out here. I think that's probably the right thing to do. It's looking about as bad as it could be. I like the idea behind the infantry push, but the missiles were so well handled, and the unsummon on the Zap Zap Cannon was actually really smart. It gets you supplies back in the bank. It got some good damage off, and instead of losing it, you get supplies back and are able to bring up some Rat Ogres. which we saw an absolute load of. We even had the Wheels of Doom in reserve, which is kind of wild. Man, oh man, that was really nice to see. Love to see some Skaven taking games off of Chaos. It's pretty rare to see at times. Most of the other Chaos factions are pretty difficult for the Skaven on average. You can see the execution, though, making up any vulnerabilities for the Skaven there and getting them a really nice win. Alright, looks like our opponent is prepping up and ready to go. I don't know who Gepard is playing. I would guess lizards of some type. Give me a sec, guys. Sweet. So we're just going to go begging for the replays from folks. Gepard obviously won his match, so we'll get to that one eventually. Right now we're going to just prioritize getting into the lobby and counter-picking. Yeah, we do have an Oxalotl sighting on the field, so I'm on High Elves. I don't really know how High Elves into Lizardmen goes typically. Where the hell is he for us? There it is. This could definitely be a little bit tricky, but I think that we'll be okay. Gonna bring our damage dealer stuff. Let's get in and look at the map bands. We got Glade to the Everqueen, Sunken Mire, Zardner Grund, Rebellion, Whirling Maelstrom, and Proving Grounds. Urbane Glade. I don't really love that map. Not really my cup of tea, typically. I do think that the Silverin Guard are a good call here. The Lion Chariot will clean up a lot of the infantry, and what was the other thing? Oh yeah, 2 Rangers. Which is fine, that's gonna work out nicely, and we can still get a decent little skirmish corps there. Awkward amount of money left over is my one annoyance here. Maybe no Silverin Guard then, and we go War Lions of Trace and just get a standard archer into this build. Sure. I don't know. Little weird. Don't think it'll be a big issue though. Don't know about Lotherns in reserve. The Storm Riders are a really good option. Maybe a Shadow Walker for poke. Do need to be worried about the big monsters. Look at the Fireborn in here. They're going to be really strong. Silver Helms into some of these other options for the lizards are going to be a little bit scary, I think. But Illyrian Reavers, I think, are going to be even worse. So I think we do want a couple Silver Helms. We'll leave off the standard Illyrians. Maybe we get another Horse Archer or mix in... Not 100% sure what. Keep fiddling around with this. Let's see what our opponent bans. So, no Whirling Maelstrom. Maybe we'll see Sunken Mire or Proving Grounds. I think we banned Proving Grounds. What's a noble gonna do here? Cut all of his goodies. Thilmar Chariot, I don't think is gonna be all that strong. A noble on horseback with some AP is actually a pretty good idea because they should be able to go fight some of the bigger dinosaurs and keep them under control. They could be a big problem if I don't keep a good lid on them. I think we just go for a couple more rangers and some shadow walkers and maybe a spearman. Like I said, this is not a faction I have a tremendous amount of experience with. I feel like you really need the Fireborn. The bonus versus large and AP is so important, but Arcane Phoenix with the Ember Storm might not be a bad idea. Definitely throw down some serious damage. Tempest to control. Any Ripper Dactyls of any kind, and Fang Sword's a good choice. Mistwalker Barrage always going to be strong. Maybe the Warlions aren't the way to go. Let's get ourselves a Soul Quench, and we'll get the 2 Silverins in here, and we'll cut this guy. We'll get Rahager's Pride in the back. Dorian is so expensive, dude. Do we need Tempest? I actually really have no idea. I think I prefer Tempest over Soul Quench. Soul Quench is good for clearing stuff out, but I think if we play our cards right, then we won't be under so much threat that we really need to rely on that. Do we cut Fang Sword? This is so strong, though. I don't know where we fill out this 400 gold, man. I mean, it's kind of an awkward spend, honestly. I guess I just get the Heralds of the Wind in, and I bring Soul Quench. Why not? Not much else to do, and I guess I'll put a Chevron on each of these guys. Alright, and we're playing Sunken Mire here. We'll see how this works out for us. I don't think it's going to be too terrible. I am a little worried about, like, the Chameleon Skinks and whatnot, because they will be coming in force. It is Oxalotl, after all. He's going to be throwing them out, right? So maybe that is why Soul Quench is going to be so strong, because it is a fairly effective spell. Can definitely put down quite a bit of damage. Our rangers in the trees will be able to avoid quite a bit of missile fire, and we'll have the Silverin Guard just pushing up slowly behind them, I think. Get these guys set up over here. Give me just 1 minute, guys. Okay, we are flipped over, so we're not missing anything. Just need to check on one thing before we move along. All right. See what we can do here. See if we can shake off some high elf rust and get a dub here. It's a fairly mobile build. I think if I play into that, then I'll be okay. High Elves tend to play pretty tall anyways, you know. I've got a decent selection of stuff here. I've got a lot more kite mobility, so we can hit and run a lot here, I think.
Always ready. Eldarion. Very well. Acknowledged. For all outrun. Eldarion moving. We away.
We can get here first. We'll get our ranger here, and we'll get a ranger up in here, and we'll just keep an eye on them.
It shall be done.
Silveren's gonna go push that point. Silverens are pretty independent. They don't have ITP or anything, which is a little bit of an annoyance, but they are very durable and reliable in terms of their holding power. It's got some Saurus Spears coming in. What our first summon is, I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to get the Fireborn out quickly, because I think they will be very, very effective here. What's going on in here? Oh, the Chameleon Skinks are up in the trees here now. Let's get Ultharion forward. Got a lot of Saurus Spears, man. What the hell is this? Yeah, there's some chameleons. Oh, we kind of trot up into them all. There's a lot of chameleon skinks. Oh my goodness. Alright, Ultharion decided he didn't want to fire off his Soul Quench. That's fine. Just get back. We took a little bit of punishment, but it's going to be okay. We're not in too big of a hole here, I don't think. The Saurus Spears look like they're going to be planning on walking us down, which I'm not 100% okay with. Got the bodies up on our point here. So we're going to actually land here and start trying to do some damage. We'll just pop our Fang Sword to lessen the damage that we receive here. So our opponent pushing us here? Not really. That's an Uranans onto the Silveren Guard, which really isn't that painful. Back here, we're going to get in our first Shadow Walker, who's going to do a lot of damage for us. And let's pull back a little bit. Let's see, a bunch of chameleons are incoming. We get the Terror out here. Ultharion has taken a lot of damage, but we do have our heals here. It's going to be really damn nice. Yeah, we've got Feral Bastillodon causing some problems, but the Fireborn have done some good damage to it. We just need to stay away from the Saurus Spears. And we're just going to follow up here on all of these units. And that's the Colossadon Hunters, so this is what you bring Tempest for. We're going to rotate over here. We're going to keep the pressure up on this point. We're going to get damage off over here. Shadow Walkers are going to unload on the Skinks here. Come on, pop the... Why can I not target it? There we go. Okay. We're going to pop this on our boys, and that's going to be a very, very dead Colossadon Hunters. While Ultharion is going to keep up the pressure here, we're going to get our Shadow Walkers continuing to poke down Saurus Spears and whatnot. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I mean, our Silverens are kind of saturated in underneath a lot of this stuff. We've taken down the Colossadon Hunters, which is a huge win for us. We got a couple of Saurus Spears on us. So let's get off these guys, and we'll charge them down with our Lion Chariot, which should do some good damage to them. Big Terror Route going off against our opponent here. Pop this here. Let's get the Ranger in to go attack these chameleons, who are going to be very annoying for my poor guys here. We can send the Illyrian Reaver archers over to actually attack them as well, because they will be able to charge these little guys down pretty nicely. So just a little bit of poke. We've got the Fireborn here. They're going to charge these guys down as well. We're going to land in against the Source shields and chew them up real quick. And we're going to get out here to go after these Spear Riders now. And we'll push out with the infantry, form up with these guys, and then we can run down all of these little sticky little chameleon skinks. And now the Storm Riders can go to that point as well. We're going to pop this, get the heal here.
Empowered by vengeance. We advance. We're all flat.
Let's move over. Do what we can to finish this fight up. It shouldn't be too much longer on it. Need to get Eltharion out of here. There's another Spear Rider on the way in. It's going to definitely do some pretty nasty damage to me, which, you know, I want to try and avoid as much of that as possible. Let's get our bows over. Let's get the Storm Riders over as well. And just chunk through these dudes. There's our Oxyotl. So our opponent has revealed their lord. We're just going to keep popping the heals here. Just need to keep grinding against these Spear Riders. I think we need to actually rotate away. Let's get off of the number 3 for a moment and find some fights elsewhere if we can.
No surrender.
Eltharion really hasn't done a whole lot. I don't understand how people use Eltharion, man. I swear to God. He seems just baffling to me in terms of his usage.
I am ever ready. Illyrian archers.
We're gonna go push that back point, and we've got the Saurus down just about. Don't really have a whole lot to work with here. Shadow Walkers are gonna be really useful. We should bring in Silverhelms now.
Spearman. You're in there. Eltharion.
The Rangers are going down, but that's not that bad. We're just going to keep healing Eltharion, and we're going to grab our opponent's back objective here, because they don't have anything defending it, really. The Shadow Walkers are going to go sit out in the middle. We're going to turn them off fire at will, so they don't use all their ammo here. Terror Route going down from the Bastillodon. Spear Riders are doing some damage. It's a fairly even game right now. I think this is a Noble time, actually. Noble will be pretty nice to occupy the attention of some of these Spear Riders, potentially. It's a really nice timing attempt. We are able to dodge it, and we are able to grab the point here.
You have the foe's victory point.
A lot of these Illyrian Reaver archers are about out of ammo. Should still be able to get me some good value, though. Yeah, you got Spear Riders on the way in. We're going to get another Silverhelm up. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Noble is coming in. Yeah, I got the Spear Riders on the way through. They're coming after me. Definitely don't want to let myself get charged down here without punishing this. Get these guys back off of fire at will so they can start shooting. And we got a bit of an ambush from the trees, which is kind of cute. We're going to avoid that as long as possible. Let's just move forward, try and avoid some of that damage from the Uranans. Now we're going to brace again. Charge down the red-crested skinks. We got a really nice engagement over here. We got a lot of units that are running away from me. Heal up Eltharion again. We'll get the Noble poking away at the Bastillodon here. And let's go charge these guys down. Just keep the engagement going here and have our missiles do a little bit of damage to these guys. And we'll get the Fireborn back in. They're just almost always going to be a good call in terms of a summon.
Silver helms. Bang sword strikes. Son of Ulfwan. I swear it. For Tor Ivres.
Okay, so the red-crested skinks are running. We'll turn the storm riders around and shoot these feral cold ones on the way in.
Silver helms.
Looking really nice. It's just a bunch of feral cold ones here for the most part. We're cleaning up this back pressure. Cohort of Sotek is a pretty annoying unit, but we're going to be able to clear them out in a moment. We got the Fireborn on the field again for any big scary stuff in the late game.
For duty. Always ready. No surrender.
Thorian has taken a lot of damage from Oxyotl. Oxyotl's in the forest here somewhere, being a bit of a Dickens right now. He's definitely causing me a little bit of trouble.
It shall be done. Loyal.
Are able to fold these guys up. Where are my routing Silverhelms? They should rally in a moment here. Please don't run all the way off the field. They rally right in front of the Chameleon Skinks. We'll just get the charge going. That's a really nice Uranans. Massive damage from that.
The warden marches. Kill them. Bleak but unyielding.
It's got 1,200 value. It's really not that good. We're going to get over there and try and cap that point. Silverin Guard or something else. I actually think Rahaka's Pride is the way to go here. It's a really nice rally from those guys. They're actually really running my units down right now.
Asturian guides us. Pull back.
Alright, Oxyotl is just still shooting me for somehow. I don't really understand how he's doing that.
Ready and able. The fang sword hunter.
Alright, Eltharion, come on, buddy. You've got to be able to kill a tiny little skink. You cannot be serious right now. Okay, we get the attack off there. Fearsome Roar should be able to get us something. Pull back with these guys. We'll get forward Rangers. Rangers will be nice. They'll be able to attack these guys at the very least. Let's get the Rahaga's Pride off of here. Let's cap this point. Let's get Eltharion back. Continue to run with him. Just need him to not be dead, really. I mean, that's like the end goal here, is not have a dead lord. I'll just keep poking away, man. Oxyotl with 2,700 freaking value. He's been very, very irritating. Maybe the War Lions can get him, though. They are anti-infantry units. Can definitely do some pretty nice damage to him. He's going to go invisible, and he's going to be a little hard to spot. But if we can get him, our damage should be pretty nice.
I fight for Ivres.
You have the foe's victory point.
We advance.
Okay, we've actually got Oxyotl locked down for the moment. Get up over here. We're going to get the Lion Chariot back in, because we do need something to kill Saurus. I think, though, if we just delay even for time, we win. We have had quite a bit of healing, so that should be an advantaged position for us in the late game here. We're slowly chewing on Oxyotl. I don't know what it is about him. He seems to be doing an insane amount of damage, even when he's locked in melee combat. I need to figure out how to use Eltharion better. My micro on him, I don't know what it is. I thought he was more of a shock damage character. I feel like that's what I've been trying to prioritize with him, and it just hasn't really been working out so far. Okay, Oxyotl's going down. We're going to turn around. We're going to charge down these Sword Spears real quick. We are able to get a win here, which is really nice. The exact same twinsies, 759. Damn, Oxyotl, bro. It's going crazy. 2,800 value on Oxyotl. Spear Riders. Spear Riders were okay. The Colossodon Hunters were a big weak point. They got folded up real quick. My Fireborn play was not ideal. I could definitely have played a little bit better with my mobility. I kept them in fights a little too long. I could do to hit and run some more. Not let my units get trapped up nearly as bad. Alright, so we got a win under our belt. We're probably going to be playing a Scrambled Egg next, if I had to guess. I really don't know how High Elves do into Skaven, honestly. Although, Pizu's a really good player. Could take a game off of Scrambled for sure. There's the lizard, so we got our dub. Let's see what other replays people are dropping for me. Hopefully they're leaving me some treats. Sweet Empire and Vampire Counts. Empire versus Bretonia is going to be really interesting to watch. We do need to see Gep's last game. Alright, there's app data. Let's get the Creative Assembly folders opened. Doink. Some kind of shenanigans going on in the tournament chat right now. I don't know what's going on that's got people bugging out a little bit. Seriously. Oh my god. Rip Chicken from the Ulrich game. It was brutal, man. It's not often that the Skaven end up breaking people upon their front line, but that did end up happening a little bit. Sometimes, dude, the Skaven win because you just take so much freaking damage on the way in. You know, and honestly, that last game that we saw really wasn't too terribly dissimilar from when I lost with Be'lakor. I got way too overconfident, and I flew my Lord into range of Howling Warp Gale, and he just got deleted, and that kind of happened to Ulrich in a way. He didn't fumble him in one go. He was a little bit better than I was, and he got caught twice before his Lord went down, ultimately. Alright, I got one more replay, so we'll start working through them in sequential order from here. I'm very interested to see how your game goes, Gep. Oh no, now I got Skaven Dark Elves being finished up. Okay, well, we may need to put a pause on doing any replays for the moment, because I think that Scrambled's going to be ready then. Let me just go see what the bracket looks like. I need to clean my frickin' mouse pad. It's grody. It's gross. I haven't cleaned this thing in like half a year. I've spilled so much stuff on it. Nothing too weird, but I don't know. Definitely a lot of coffee. It's going to be a pretty short tournament today. There's really not that many people in this one. Anticity snagged away a fair number of the people who were signed up otherwise, I think. But that's okay, because we got some really high-quality opponents and just folks in general in these in this tournament. So the games are definitely turning out to be fairly interesting to watch as a result. How's Anticity's top 16 band tournament going? Going pretty well. Kentama's doing really well. Fabrosi is undefeated right now. Not a lot of other people have finished their round 2 games. Alright, so we're going to be playing Scrambled Egg, which is going to be really, really freaky. Okay, I'll just come join our boys' lobby then. No! Damn it, he came to my lobby. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, hold on, hold on. Alright, we're going back. Very funny. A little awkward. We're rocking back and forth trying to figure out how to get synced up here. Don't know what I'm bringing, honestly. Against the Skaven, man. Where's Skaven? Here they are. I'll let y'all check out what the unit requirements are for the Skaven. You're looking to Ikit Claw. He's going to be my opponent's Lord option here. And, I just don't know what I'm going to be running here. We've already got a chariot in here. Chariots are always pretty strong against the Skaven. They got a lot of bodies. Good micro on this thing could definitely get me a good situation, in terms of the value trading. Missile resistance on it is nice as well. What damage do you get out of this? That's pretty good. Okay. RIP on those. Okay. Rapturous Expanses. Oh yeah, I forgot about the... That's my rough draft of the build. Let's do our map bans. Completely forgot about them. As is tradition, I never remember that there are map bans. I don't know why, I just assume everybody set them and forget them. So what round are we on? 3, I guess? Alright, we're going to ban Terracotta Graveyard as our first map ban. Maybe I just do one bolt thrower. Okay, so Ruins and Graveyard are banned. Do we ban Carcass. I get one more ban, and then we're going to actually have to kind of make a decision about what we're doing. We'll ban Haunted Vale, and we'll see what of the remaining 2 maps Scrambled is most interested in. It's Putrefying Carcass, and... oh god, what's the other one? It's some... oh yeah, it's Kassar's. So, Kassar's Cursed Oasis and Putrefying Carcass are the 2 remaining options. Both of those have a lot of cover, which I think that the High Elves can take better advantage of than the Skaven. We'll have to see if that holds true or not, though. Alright guys, let's see if we can make it into the qualifier. Because all we need to do is win this game and we'll be in the finals, which will be super sick. I would love to be able to actually qualify for the damn finalist tournament. Yeah, losing to Teethbreakers and Warp Gale is 100% a rite of passage. If you haven't lost that way yet, then you haven't played enough Skaven people. Yeah, Fabrosi getting W's is awesome. Fabrosi's been around for a while and has been putting in all kinds of work, so it'd be super cool if they got a tournament win. Because I'm pretty sure it would be their first one. I got so many freaking Discord notifications. I need these all to go away, please. Alright, cool. Alright, gamers. Scramble will be done in a moment. Shouldn't take him too much longer to figure out his build and what he wants to run. Whenever he's ready, we'll be prepped and just run it. Okay. There's football going on right now. I'm a huge American football fan, so I'm checking all the scores as they stand right now while we've got the downtime. Scrambled and I have been fairly even the last few times that we've played. I think in the last like 6 games we've played, we've each won 3. Although maybe I'm one more up on him. No, I think we're 3-3. See what we can do. So we actually have a noble, and we've got Eltharion on horseback. I really just don't like the idea of bringing Air Force stuff against the Skaven. I cannot imagine it being very effective. So I am avoiding it, if possible.
Archers.
We'll see what we can do with a nice little high elf archer line.
Ready and able. Noble. Spearmen. Archers. Loyal. It shall be done. Without fail. Spearmen.
Oh my god.
Spearmen.
Here we go. Okay.
As you say. As you say. Penance. Assar noble. Dauntless. Bleak.
Really, I've got Eltharion on horseback, because I've got a good spread on spells. Arcane Unforging is going to be pretty nice for hammering Ikit, given an opportunity. And I do have a mana battery in reserve. The Mage Beast has a Starwood Staff. So he's basically just going to be spamming that, but we get the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower out first, I think. That probably ends up being the more important unit to have out on the field. See, the Zap Zap Cannon is out on the open side of the map here.
The fang sword hungers.
Get both of these guys behind the pillar and hide them from any damage. Teeth Breakers are here, Warp Fire Throwers, multiple Jezzails. Ikit has Howling Warp Gale and the Death Frenzy. I really like that Scramble doesn't just run the most obnoxiously meta stuff all the time. He actually does swap it up and play some fairly off-meta stuff pretty frequently.
Without fail. Loyal. Eltharion.
We have a victory point.
Guided by waystones.
Okay, actually use the fucking spell though, bud. It's just standing there not doing anything with it. Oh my god. He just got absolutely shit-canned. Oh my god, Eltharion, dude. Alright, well I gotta go hide him now. He just got absolutely hammered. I mean, he got good damage on the Teeth Breakers, I guess, but that is really brutal. That's very painful.
It will be done.
Let's get a Bolt Thrower in. Let's pop the Starwood Staff, and, what the hell is that? It gets Zap Zap Cannon, crazy accuracy. Oh my goodness.
Onward. Forward. Forward. At once. For the Ever Queen. Spearmen. Archers. For Ulthuan.
Let's go attack Buddy here. He gets a nice little cast there. That's definitely gonna hurt. Ain't doing too hot. Noble. We don't want to let him get pulled out of position.
Eltharion. I follow my vow.
Oh my god, and my archers are trickling way too far forward now.
Moving out. Wherever I am needed. The Warden marches. Warden of Ulthuan. By my father's blade!
We're gonna drop our Arcane and Forging here. He's actually within the radius of it, so we're gonna get some nice damage that way.
We will obey. As you say.
And that spears, we got the damn Jezzails shooting us up. Our archers just got folded in, dude. They just didn't have a chance, honestly. Try and use our Shadow Warriors a little bit. Let's get these Silver and Guard back. Oh my god, the Warpfire throwers are just deleting us. What the hell do you do against the Skaven, bro? Crazy business. So much damage that they can throw out. Alright, well, we're down early, but maybe we'll be fine. Just need to keep popping staff. Need to unsummon these guys. They're just a little too beat up to do anything. I don't know what the hell the bolt thrower is doing. I don't think it's hit a single shot yet. It has been whiffing endlessly so far, seemingly. So here come Doom Flares.
For duty. Sinner. For the king.
I follow my vow.
Got a lot of bodies coming up over here. What are these, clan rats? Yeah, just clan rats. Not one hundo on what I'm going to be throwing out there. Let's get our boy in here. He can do some damage, I guess. We'll get the War Lions charging up into this Clan Rat Spear for now. Let's get these guys back. Let's get these War Lions back. Let's get these guys back. Let's get another Illyrian Reader in. Doing some damage for sure. It could be going a little bit better for us, but we do have a little bit of a push going. Get in here, guys. Seal our boy. And we'll pop the Fang Sword as well. And we'll try and get back behind the pillar. Need to attack these things. Need to get in here. Need to get my chariot rolling through. Attack, 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 and just keep moving up. Does look a little grim, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot that could be going better for me. I think if we can kill these Doom Flayers, maybe have these guys here stay alive. We're gonna get another Arcane and Forging off on Ikit here. Okay, are you guys like actually fighting? I really need you to. Should all be taking this shit seriously, please, bro.
Orders received.
Guided by waystones.
Understood. Asa, move. Understood.
Let's actually go for a flank overload here, because I think there's a good opportunity for it potentially. Let's get these guys up in here. Let's go run down some of the wolf rats. Let's charge these guys.
It shall be done.
Move over here. Keep fighting. Summon in Rahagar's Pride now. And get them moving over here. Why did y'all drop your artillery pieces? What the hell are y'all doing here anyways? Please recruit that shit, please. I'm begging you.
Without fail.
Chariot got a little bit stuck, which is not great. We're going to try and push through and get up in here. We're going to get Eltharion maybe rocking up over here.
Death to all! By Alariel! As one! Draw back! Understood!
Always ready! The Grim Warden rises!
Let's drop our fearsome roar. Let's get up into that secondary line if we can. Still can't push through. We got all these damn weapon teams messing me up.
Ulfwan Mage.
For Assyria.
Acknowledge. Understood.
Let's have our noble go over here.
Understood. As you say. Lakoi!
If we can find a way to compromise these damn weapon teams, maybe we'll be alright. We're gonna actually stop the unsummon there, which is gonna be massive.
By my father's blade.
Asa! Attack! Attack! Without fail! Sinath! Acknowledge! It will be done!
Getting a kill here on some of these things? It feels like we are. We need the Shadow Walkers to actually kill Ikit here. Ikit is in a little bit of trouble. I mean, it's not, like, perfect for me, obviously. Just need to go beat up on the Zap Zap Cannon for a minute here. For Hogger's Pride are doing a lot of damage. Go get this guy. Go get him. Get him right now, guys.
Onward.
As you say.
I fight for Ibris.
To battle!
In Moranian's name.
A lot of good damage coming in from my opponent, but we've still got some units around.
Eltharion.
And Ikit is in a lot of trouble. If Ikit dies, maybe we get to hold the points.
Understood. Spearman.
With better quality stuff and better leadership. That's a lot of crap incoming, though.
For order.
Lakoi! Brave and true! Attack! I am ready!
Poke the Doom Flares as best we can. Keep shooting here. Unsummon here. Get these guys in here. Rangers moving in here.
Awaiting orders! Obeying orders!
Ikit is not going to rally, but we don't kill him, which is an annoyance for sure. Oh, like, not killing Ikit is the big, unfortunate situation here, because it's going to be very frustrating dealing with a lot of these annoying Skaven units once their leadership kind of rallies up. There should be kind of a big break incoming from the Skaven here in a moment. Drop it and run. Kill these wolf rats. We got the Doom Flayers tormenting me out here. Don't really have much I can send over except for some spearmen at the moment. Yeah, my poor bolt thrower dies. We got a lot of routes going, which is awesome. We might actually be able to kill this Doom Flayer as well.
Weapons ready!
We did not save that point, unfortunately.
Spearman! Forward! Can I be praised? Quickly now!
I mean, we killed the Doom Flayers. We've got a bunch of garbage, mostly, coming in.
Ancestors! Moving out!
Let's drop this here. Let's get up on this point, and we'll have Eltharion just dropping a Soul Quench on as many of these Skaven units as possible. Maybe we get a terror or a break on all these units here. It's actually kind of nice. Silverins get up on the point. Tharin's gonna get in here and tangle. Let's get these guys back, I guess. I don't know. The Shadow Walkers have not been very good this game, I will say that. They've honestly been incredibly lackluster. I don't know what I could have done differently about that, honestly.
To the fray!
So many bodies here, man. Just so many freaking Skaven.
Spellcaster.
The fang sword hunters.
Wow, that didn't actually make an impact. Amazing. Let's give this Silveren Guard something to keep their leadership up. I guess we try and get a terror route here by root charge and all this stuff, I guess. These are going down. We're holding the number 3. We just gotta move everything to the middle, though. We need a full triple cap if we're gonna win this game.
Spearmen! Advance for the Ever Queen! Death to all, without fail!
Look at all the bodies over here, dude. I don't have anything to clear all that out. I should have brought a Fire Mage with Burning Head. If I had done that, I think I'd be in a pretty good spot, but I didn't have enough chaff clear, and I think that's going to lose me the game.
At once! Setting
I don't know what this Chariot's doing. That's the second time it's dropped in an attack order.
Guided by waystones.
Some War Lions would be real nice right about now. I don't think we can get the points in time. Oh, that's so disappointing.
we will obey! To battle!
Get a big break here. We get a lot of leadership routes. And we're kind of capping this point.
Shall be done!
Do we get it in time?
Spearmen, make Oathone proud! Yes!
Just don't think we can get this point before the before time winds out on me. There's a little bit too much here.
For duty, you have been bested.
Ah, that's unfortunate. A Burning Headcaster would have done me wonders, and my Shadow Walker play definitely needed a little bit of a touching up. Left quite a lot to be desired. The archers weren't that good. Altharion got 3,000 value on his horsey. Hogger's Pride were nice. Ugh. Just needed more out of these guys. So what happens sometimes, you get behind, you don't really have a great way back into the game. You're getting momentum, but you just can't quite finish your opponent. Yeah, Altharion I really thought was Okay, we've got another game to play, though, because I signed up for this RTK special tournament. It's going to be interesting. I need to go find the rule set. Let me find the rule set for this slow burn tournament that I signed up for. I don't even know where the hell it's at. Oh, here it is. Okay, guys. So Torreson is coming in a few moments to play this tournament that we've got here. For each win, you have to randomize 4K funds. 2K in the main army and 2K in the reinforcing army. Okay, so we get to do a 3x3 matrix. We are going to, you know, pick and choose our armies and who we're going to be repping. What do we need to do from there? I guess for this first round, we're not actually randomizing any of the army. That's only for the people who have actually won games in this rule set, it seems. Plays Swiss tournament over 5 or 6 weeks until the new DLC drops. Okay. Cool. I'm excited. So we've got Road to Talabheim is going to be the first map. I guess this is all the maps that are getting played, I guess? I don't know. Let me make a lobby, and I'll invite Torreson in. There we go. After we get this game out of the way, then we'll get all of the other replays from the Legendary Lords tournament cast. Keep ending up delaying it. Very optimistic to think the DLC is coming in 5 to 6 weeks. Maybe so. It might be a little optimistic, but I believe. I think that there's odds-on chance that we get it before the true holiday season at the very least. It'd be nice. I mean, my God, please, CA, give us some info and news. It's a little concerning that they haven't really, like, released any further info about the DLC. It's like they made the teaser trailer and they have absolutely nothing else done. It's starting to feel that way just a teeny bit. It's getting me a little wiggy. Alright, cool. Torreson's here, so let's get our pick and bans going. Just top of the bracket. I am, so I'm the host. I don't mind showing you all the picks and bans. Exclusive ban? Yeah, exclusive ban. So I can ban whatever my opponent might theoretically main. Don't really think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to ban Ogre Kingdoms and... what's another faction that I struggle into? We'll ban Vampire Counts also. I don't really want to play either of those. Banned out Slanesh, and Korn, okay. So, RIP my main faction. Good Norska. He went High Elves. I really like Kislev into High Elves. We're gonna take our Beastie Boys. I haven't played Beastmen a whole lot recently. A little rusty on them, but I feel like I should be fine playing them. Beastmen are really good into greenskins. A little less good into High Elves. High Elf players have kind of figured out how to play that matchup a little bit more. It's definitely not a very dominant one like it used to be for the Beastmen. Alright, Vampire Coast? Hell yeah. Okay. I like Kislev into all of these matchups, truthfully. I don't think any of them are bad for Kislev. Vampire Coast might be the closest to being a bad matchup, so we'll be a little bit discerning about what we're doing. But Norskin to High Elves is good, Norskin to Greenskins is good, Norskin to Vampire Coast is good. Norsk is good against everything, almost. I mean, they've got a few bad matchups, but they're really not that terrible. Do we ban Kislev Vampirates? What's the current win rate against them? Very good. Okay. What's Kislev not doing well into? Not doing well into Beastmen, Demons, Slanesh. Nothing that my opponent picked. Greenskins are a little scary for them. I guess we ban that. Hold on. I'll even let y'all see us do the Matrix bans. No Kislev, please! I want to play some Kislev. You bastard. Oh. I'm heartbroken, honestly. Alright, well, let's be serious then. What are the worst remaining matchups for me? I feel like Vampire Coast... I mean, Beastmen have a good win rate against Vampire Coast, but the last time I played that matchup, did not feel good. Howls just have so much missile play that they can lean back on. And they have Burning Head. So ban Beastmen High Elves and maybe... Is Norska Greenskins a very good matchup? Feel like it should be very advantaged for Norska. It's actually not that favorable, so let's ban that one out as well. So no Beastmen High Elves, no Norska Greenskins. That's going to leave my opponent with Beastmen Vampirates, Beastmen Greenskins, Norska High Elves, which is an exceptionally good matchup for Norska, and Norska Vampirates as well. So we're probably going to end up playing against the Vampirates if I had to guess. Beastmen aren't doing too good against the greenskins, though, I guess. That's a little scary. Alright, so Beastmen greenskins and Norska vampirates are available to me. Let's play Norska Vampirates. It's a pretty open map, but Norska is really not that fussed about it, I don't think. Got a lot of tools to wear down the gun lines of the Vampire Coast, in my opinion. We just need to be very careful with our Lord here. Wolfric's cheap as hell, dude. I mean, you don't bring him with much of anything, and you just have Seafang do all the work. I'm gonna go with a Fire Sorcerer with Burning Head. You might be wondering why I'm not bringing Ephemer Balefane, but they're fairly expensive. I don't really think it's entirely necessary either. What I'd much rather have is the Skinwolf Werekin in reserve with Ruinous Flesh to bring him out when the time is right. Maybe... Double Chariots. What do we want to fill our forces out with? Marauder Hunter Javelins, not a bad option at all. I think Beasts of Tashnar is still a good option here. Maybe we don't want the, I don't think we need the champions. I think the Skinwolves will be enough. I don't know if we need 2 chariots. Maybe just 1. Werekin is going to be an early priority add for our army. I think we actually do want a Throwing Axe Horseman, because they could throw down against any crabs. Crabs can be a problem here for sure. Just a little bit off from getting the Skinwolves with the armor. Do we need the armored Skinwolves? Maybe. I don't know about it. I think having 1 Horsemaster is a good idea too. They're very maneuverable. They're actually fairly good at charging down gunline units. They can do some pretty good damage there. We got a good front line with Berserkers. We've got Marauders. Got some Hunter Javelins who will be pretty indispensable. Maybe the Ice Wolf Chariot is a little bit much. Maybe I do want a champion with the great weapons. The champion with the great weapons is going to be my answer to Depth Guard with polearms. Otherwise, I will just have to kite them around a bunch and shoot them, which will be really annoying. It'll take a whole lot of work for very little gain with all the kite that's going to have to go into that. Fear not, guys. I'm just filling out my army. I'll swap y'all back over now. Alright, guys. Let's get a good luck, have fun going with our opponent, and we'll see what we can get done here.
Hear my taunts.
So we got a big front line. We got our mage here. Get this guy in group 3. He's gonna go out and get the number 3 objective early for us. Just need to keep these guys in the trees. Vanguard in the forest over here with this unit, and maybe push a marauder out through there. You'd be surprised what you can get done with some flanking units.
Chaos Marauders! That's what the Master speak! Chaos Marauders! Your will! Chaos down! My God's call! I'll take hits! Order the drive!
Stick them in a control group for now, and these guys are going to be nice and sneaky going up through there. It's a big army for the Vampire Coast, which shouldn't be that surprising to anybody. That's kind of the style they go with. We got some Ice Wolves. They're going to be good against Scurvy Dogs. Beasts of Tashnar can go in and support against, like, Morn Ghouls or whatnot, some lightly armored stuff. Miststalker is going to be able to pummel some units down and have very good defensive stats, obviously. Werkin going to be heavy hitter against, like, Celostra or something. So let's just get going. Let's get up through the trees here. We got gunnery mobs, obviously. Shadewraith Gunners available. And yeah, Celostra with the Ghosts of the Past and Fog of the Damned is going to be the Lord option here. So we just need to be a little bit discerning about how we handle the Shadewraith Gunners. If we're smart about attacking them, then we'll be okay. Because they're going to be the most annoying unit out here. The handgunners are a little bit of a threat, same with the bomber mobs, obviously. But we have Burning Head that can do really good damage to those as well.
Marauder horsemen! We serve the gods! The dogs
I actually want to pull these guys over a bit.
Marauder horsemen! The bloodbath awaits! So be it.
Let's actually pull back some.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Let's just stick our toes on. We're going to get the Miststalkers out, and they're going to start moving up. They're going to be a good flanker. These guys are going to move up over here.
Marauder horsemen!
And just pull back. Where are the Shadewraith Gunners, and what are they doing?
Chaos Marauders!
To actually pull back, if we can force our opponent to move forward so that our units spend as little time as possible coming out of the forest and into position to do damage, that'll be ideal.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Charge on!
Zap animated hulks. Ah, there's some sirens on the way in, which is going to be a little annoying.
Bring us to carnage! They will succumb! Horror! Faster! Chaos Marauders!
Let's just work on holding the point. We're gonna pull back here because my opponent is flipping it. No reason in staying there any longer. We're gonna move up and around. We'll get the Skinwolf Werekin in. And see some really nice damage from the Shade Wraith Gunners coming down. I'm gonna push over though. Could Sea Fang here. Let's actually do that. This is animated Hulk, so we can fight in the trees here for a moment. Let's get back. That was a beautiful Sea Fang, by the way. That just wrecked my opponent's poor bomber mob. We've got time to play with. We don't need to panic or anything right now. Getting some good damage. Fellbats are on the way in. Let's send a Skinwolf over there, actually. Let's get some of these guys going. We're just gonna let this bomber mob crumble out. And I'm gonna get ready to drop my burning head on the other one, I think. Just want to kind of stay out of range. Pull back. Let's keep moving up and around. Got the engagement going over here. The Sirens are actually a bit of a problem there. I don't really want to send my Skinwolves over to engage. Because I think they'll get beat up and probably just end up dead. Burning Head wasn't that impactful, honestly. That one was a little bit lacking. Just gonna keep continuing the push around. Get this forward. These Marauders are hanging on like frickin' champions, dude. They have been absolutely incredible for me. Just fight these guys. That's a depth guard. Let's go back. We've still got our #1 objective, so I'm not too fussed right now. Let's get up. And start poking a little bit over here, actually. And Werekin is going to go beat up on Silostra if possible. I mean, that's the goal at least.
I'll be there.
Wulfric the Wanderer!
Shame on sorcerer. Shame on death.
Oh, we got the Fleet Admiral in the trees over here. It's kind of cool. We do kind of need to get off those guys. Not like the best engagement in the world for me. Let's get the chariots rolling through now. Get our units into combat here. Get another Skinwolf out, and they can go over here and assist. And we're just going to focus down Silostra as best we can now. Don't want to overlap too much, so we'll pull off these guys. The Miststalkers are attracting a ton of attention back here. We'll see what they can do. Need to go clean up guns for sure. They're going to be a real pain. So let's get our Lord and our caster on this work. Beautiful, beautiful cast there. Just absolutely tearing through them.
Get them!
We're doing good damage to Silostra. That's a really nice cast of Fog of the Damned. That's really tearing me up right now.
Move on them! So be it! Charge!
I think we might want to pull back from this side, actually. I don't think committing over there is going to be the ticket to victory here. I think what we're going to do is drop our Sea Fang. Try and clear out this unit. Did that cast in the right place? What the hell was that? Oh, it did. Okay, okay. That's huge. Yeah, you can see how much damage we've done to the gun line. There's a bunch of melee elements to this army remaining, but I think we'll be okay and set for clearing them out. That's a really good engagement from the damned knights. They're ripping my poor guys apart over there. Depth guard are over here, so we need to get these guys in against them. My caster did die, which is a bit of a problem. And Wulfric stands alone against Silostra, which I don't love. So let's get him out of here. He's also on top of depth guard. Oh no, I did not see that. And the damn Knights Errant are just all over my ass right now. Oh, we're falling apart. No, please.
Slaughter! That's what the masters said.
Lambs to slaughter.
Where can get out of here? We'll see about it. I don't know.
Retreat!
Skinwolves have not done very well at all, have they?
Now is our time!
Been very mediocre. We are grinding down the depth guard now, though, which is awesome. If we keep Wulfric alive, maybe we'll be okay. The Damn Knights Errant have died off now, which is huge. Beast of Tashanar need to get out of here. Let's go get this bomber mob real quick.
Blow them!
Dude, I actually have a pretty good fight kicking off over there, and that's the Shade Wraith Gunners coming back out.
You are blind! Yes, chieftain!
Wulfric the Wanderer.
Okay, I think we're okay. I think I was panicking a little bit, but I think we're gonna rally up here. We've still got Skinwolves and some of these other goodies, and we've got some animated Hulks out in the open here that we can take care of.
Throw those axes!
Moving out. Wulfric the Wanderer.
What? My gods call! The gods demand it!
Alright, we're gonna send Hounds up over there. All we need is one unit to actually get into contact with that unit, and we can take it down, and then we'll be in a pretty good spot. Caster needs to come back out. He's gonna get a Burning Head on the Siren unit here and finish them off. I'm gonna come over here and crumble these guys out. Silostra is alive. The Fleet Admiral has been popping heals on her, which is how she's been surviving so long. But we do have points back. We've got the objectives in a pretty secure position
You
now.
have the foe's victory point.
Incantations ready.
Into position!
Let's go run these guys down. Let's get back here. Werekin is just gonna have to persevere for a bit. He's very beat up right now.
What do you mean?
Avoid this and we'll go around here. Just need to avoid Silostra and, of course, keep our Lord alive. Like I said, I need to keep him moving, not let him get stuck anywhere and just die.
Faster!
Hurry.
Oh, and all these bodies got stuck on one unit. Why? No. Need to get around and kill this Shade Wraith Gunner. This unit's gonna break, though. And we'll get a Berserker out. My opponent's bringing out more guns, while I'm still holding on to the points, which is the biggest win for me here. Roast out all these bodies. We're gonna get off of this and go over here and attack now.
All the Chaos Gods!
Attack over here. We'll just have Wulfric running around. We'll get more Marauders on the field. And then we'll get the 100 Javelins back out. So units are going down over here, but it's going to be okay. I think we're going to be set up for a late game win.
I see victory.
Unsummon all this stuff. Our Marauder champions have been pretty solid. Let's get away now. Get them, get them. We got our Hounds on the Shade Wraith Gunners, and I think if we kill them, then we'll be pretty well situated. We're going to get our Chariot out, and our Chariot's going to go run over mobs of many different varieties. We'll try and grab the triple cap here. I think that's going to end up rallying. I don't have... Yeah, I don't have magic for another Burning Head.
Scouts for my army.
Lord, how much fucking magic does the Vampire Coast have access to? My goodness. Been popping it all freaking game so far. Just fight here. We're grinding it down here. We're gonna get the Javelins out, or do we wait for Miststalkers? I don't really know what I need. Roots of the Hound are still running around out here.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Let's get up in the trees here. Let's pull this guy back so he can keep regenning. Same with the Skin Wolves.
Get them! Watch! Slaughter! Chaos Marauders!
Yeah, I mean, Ice Wolf isn't a bad option either for these animated Hulks.
Your will! Give us carnage! Get them! Fight!
They're out of ammo anyways, that's fine. Let's get up here and fight the animated Hulks and go after the Shade Wraith Gunners with my mage over there. I'll bring these guys forward.
Give us carnage! Bring us to carnage! Very well.
Let's go get them.
Your will!
Body's gonna hang here. Ice Wolves are gonna go get these guys.
Blood! Doing it! Fight!
So, yeah, the Beasts of Tashnor don't make it in, but I think my Chariots can actually close that gap now, and the Mage is gonna get on top of them too.
My guards fall! Chaos Marauders! So be it!
Berserker's got to go to the middle. We got the engagement on the Scurvy Dogs, so they're going down. Celostro's just been such a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't know how you kill, you know, a giant 5,000-pound crab with a wailing ghostly lady on it, apparently. We got the animated Hulks, though. We've got the objective secured as well. We just need to not lose the 2 points that we hold currently. And force my opponent to allocate more resources to the middle, if we can.
Shame on sword.
Chariot finally got a high-value engagement. Was able to take down the Shade Wraith Gunners, so losing those guys is definitely going to give me a good opportunity to continue holding on to these points. Just maneuver up into here. Let's get on these gunnery mobs. What are they doing here? Flubbing it. Very embarrassing, guys.
Very well! Roar!
It's single cap territory anyways. Barely taking the #1 still anyways. Oh my god, dude.
Glory is yours.
We got down big time at one point there. But really patient play, and it holds true for both the Skaven and the Vampire Coast. You can be down if you've killed all their missiles. If their missiles are gone, and they're grinding into you in melee, then you're honestly not doing too bad. Really, there wasn't anything too terrifying for me to fight here. It was just a matter of making sure that I could wind the clock down with the objective advantage. The Werekin was nice. Marauder Champions were nice. The Ice Wolf Chariot the first time around was bad. Miststalkers, they just got caught out in the backfield. They provided me a little bit of time to move up, though, and occupy the rest of the forces in the front line. Maybe I should have just kept them tucked in with the rest of my army, and I think they would have done a lot better. So I think that would be my adjustment for the next one. Okay, I gotta go declare that dub. I gotta log in here, okay. Cool. So, first game of the Changers Gambit tournament. I got a dub under my under my belt. All right, guys. Let's go check on the status of Twist's tournament here. So the finals isn't over yet. At least I haven't posted the replay, but we do have the other matches, which we can finally start getting through. My God, have we been back and forth on actually getting going on these. From here on out, though, it'll just be rapid-fire replays. We'll get through them in very short order, I believe. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, that was my game against Gep. Just want to make sure that we're motoring up through it. This is going to be a really cool... Oh my God, the Templehof Luminar? No freaking way. Excited to get to that one. Okay, so we got Gepard, and we got Milky Way here. Milky Way is bringing the big stinky. We got Lord Skrulk. He's going to be rocking up with, of course, his Rod of Corruption and Liber Bubonicus. Very hard to leave home without those. A lot of summons, just Vermintide and a whole bunch of Clan Rat summons. Or sorry, not the... Vermintide is the Clan Rat summons. And what's the name of the other spell? Pestilent Birth, I think? With the Plague Monk summon. We'll see how that does. I honestly have been liking Skrulk spams. On the summons. They actually do seem to help him out a lot. It's really fun being able to drop rats literally all over your opponent's backline. I think Skrulk can actually work with some Skaven Rush type builds. But the low leadership is always a real problem, right? Just because you can summon a bunch of units in your opponent's backfield doesn't mean they actually do any damage, right? So, some Skink Skirmishers out in the field. We got some Wolf Rats being pushed back by the Chameleon Stalkers and the Skirmishers over here. A lot of Chameleon Stalkers instead of the Chameleon Skinks, which is interesting. Stalkers are very strong against lightly armored multi-model units like Rat Ogres, though, which I think is the game plan here for Gepard. Gonna be trying to take full advantage of that. See, the Plague Claw Catapult is getting some pretty good damage. This is one of the best catapults in the entire game, honestly. These Plague Claws are devastating. They hit so hard, and they contaminate leadership to down -10. And with the artillery debuff, you know, that's a -20 just right off the rip. And, you know, Skinks, Most skinks don't have very good leadership. Stalkers are the exception, but you see the skink skirmishers here with 50, and then, like, cohorts have 55, I think. Source shields are going to be fairly resilient to the firepower, but it's going to be debuffing them down by almost a third of their leadership. Plague Monk Sensor Bearers will be a little hard for them to handle, and Plague Monks can trade fairly well into most medium infantry. As long as it's not infantry that has like 100 armor or so, Plague Monks are actually fairly effective against it. So the Saurus Warriors probably don't want to be scrapping against them all that much, because they can definitely get bullied by them a little bit. Plague Monks do need some support for those fights, though. Wither would be a really good spell to drop on the Saurus, just to get the armor a little bit lower and allow the DPS to be a little bit more consistent. Good shots in the Plague Claw Catapult, taking down a handful of the Saurus Warriors there. And we do have the Chameleon Stalkers moving up in the front line, throwing their little explosive darts and getting some nice damage on the Clan Rats. Really good Flock of Doom as well. Hitting this entire pocket here. I mean, really loading up on the damage into the very expensive front line that's situated over here. Teethbreakers are opening up. They get a nice initial volley, but it's nothing too devastating. Saurus are the real threat here for the Skaven front line. You definitely need to keep them in check. And like I said, the Plague Monks and the Sensor Bearers can do a decent amount of work against them. But any additional firepower will definitely allow for the Skaven to get situated maybe a little bit better, so that they're not under constant threat of their entire front collapsing. You can see here, Chameleon Stalkers going down, Sensor Bearers up against the Saurus Warriors now. And over here, a Chameleon Stalker is able to push through against a Clan Rat. And we got a huge force of Milky Way chasing really deep into the Lizardman backline almost, but a good rally pulling them back to the point, because the point is being flipped by the Lizardmen here. Chameleon Stalkers finding engagements against the stinky little Raki Slingers. These little guys are going to be going down pretty quick here. Chameleon Stalkers are a much better unit now. They've got really nice defensive stats with the 36 melee defense, as well as physical resistance and missile resistance being 20% apiece. Nice engagement with the Feral Cold Ones right into the back of the Plague Monks and the Rat Ogres. This Feral Cold One doing very similar work here. With Chameleon Skink Fire, or not Chameleon Skinks, just regular Skink Skirmisher Fire piling in from behind. Look at the Rat Ogre leadership tanking, and they actually end up breaking here, which is brutal for the Skaven. They really need those Rat Ogres to perform here. Wow, a Hell Pit Abomination coming out. Kudos for bringing one, but not a very good unit. Very expensive thing to be saving up for when you're struggling so bad on the front line. And look at Skrulk being taken out here. Oh no, I don't know if he's used any of his abilities either. Wow, not a single one out of Skrulk, unfortunately. And Gepard has kind of broken the back of the Skaven, honestly. Skaven just don't do well when their forces get pushed back like this. If their main formation is really split wide open this way, where you've got like a pocket of resistance here, but everything else is way up in their deployment zone, it's very hard for them to effectively rally to save the isolated units and then push back up onto the points. You're going to see more Saurus Warriors coming up. Fairly healthy numbers here for the Lizard front line. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the Skaven get in this one, but you can see, look at the Bastillodon throwing down terror routes on all the Clan Rats and the Rat Ogres here. Getting a lot of stuff running. Cohort of Sotek is going to be a really nice unit to fight on top of this Hell Pit Abomination because of the Unbreakable. They're also going to do a great job against the Rat Ogres, who have very weak melee defense. These guys have 42 melee attack, obviously. It'll go down as they get tired, but they are unbreakable, so they'll always have the Frenzy active, which will buffer up their stats. Oh, excuse me, guys. Talking way too fast. I need to slow down my pace a little bit. little bit of firepower going down from the Poison Wind Globadiers, and the Teethbreakers can't quite get free enough to be able to shoot down the Bolas. The Fire Leech Bolas really haven't done a whole lot of work up to this point. They're more annoying than anything, but now they're getting some pretty accurate fire since they're directly overhead. Nice rock drop, too. Nice damage on the Globadiers. Wow, and the Avalanche Mortar's coming out, but shooting at the Fire Leech Bowl isn't really their cup of tea, and they're actually doing a lot of damage, as you can see, to their friendly troops underneath those guys. They should really be focusing the Saurus Warriors here, and then the Skink Skirmishers, if they really wanted to make a high-impact series of plays here. Stalker's moving in, and the Hellpit Abomination is kind of getting manhandled by the cohort of Sotek here. The Bastillodon's doing a little bit of damage, and Oxyotl poking away from the far distance there. Starting to rack up some good damage. I love the Hellpit Abomination aesthetics, but this unit definitely needs a little bit of assistance. I think it would be nice if it just got a melee defense buff. If it had like 50-50 in terms of its melee attack and melee defense, I think you would actually see Hellpit Abominations be a fairly solid unit. You could do that, or maybe you can adjust its odds of getting the heal off, because it's a 50-50 right now when it goes below 10%. Usually it just blows up, which is a feels bad moment. Maybe if the Hellpit A-Bomb was a bit more like the Hydra for the Dark Elves, it'd be a little more consistent. Like, this melee defense is so bad. Like, the regeneration is nice, but I don't know, dude. Tiny Leadership is really good. I'd love to see somebody bring a Hellpit Abomination and make it trade up. I've yet to see that happen in all of my years. Skulltaker struggles to kill Silostra. That, yeah, figures. The 10,000 HP that the Rotting Leviathans have is pretty obscene, but considering that Silostra has to come in on it without the heals, it's only got 9,800. She doesn't have heals herself. You know, my opponent having to cast a whole lot of heal magic on Silostra might have actually been worse for him. I think Tide Call would have been good for Silostra. It's really good against Chaff, and it would have been damn good against all my Marauders, and especially the Berserkers. That's my game. We saw, if you want to see this game against Gepard and what happened here, go back and watch the VOD. Farther back in the stream, you'll see it. It was a damn good game. Had a really close one against Scrambled Egg as well. It's also worth a peek. Wow, look at this Elspeth build. What the hell is this? Okay, Elspeth on foot with just Death's Timekeeper, and then you've got the Bright Wizard with Burning Head going to be the choice, which is obviously a pretty good call against the undead. They bring lots of zombies and skeletons usually, so bringing a wizard with the super clutch wind spell against them is a good call. Should be able to clear out a lot of these bodies fairly quickly, especially with assistance from the Knights of the Black Rose. Very cool, wide cavalry build.
Of death. You should fear me, my friends, but not half as much as the enemy will.
So she's on horseback, okay, so she's not on foot or anything. Thought she might have been. Quadruple Outrider is going to be a real nightmare for the vampires up in the sky. These vampires are really not bad characters, honestly. But they don't have any death magic. If they had a Spirit Leech on them, they could really take Elspeth and the Bright Wizard out quickly. What does Isabella have? We got, yeah, Raised Dead. Raised Dead's really not going to be good here. Like, the Outriders will be able to escape from most of the zombie summons. Look at the firepower. Oh my god.
Victory point. Keep it from
Sky
the
is
foe.
just filled with bullets right now as the vampires look to be peeling out. They really don't want to get poked early. They don't have a ton of HP. They're really good combatants. But I think that their utility is a little bit more powerful when they have Shadows Magic and Melkoths. Because I'm pretty sure that you do have that option in terms of what you can bring. And I think that'd be better than the sort of anti-heroes. We'll see who's going to win here. Gondola is a damn good player. Navi is also very strong. Just going to come down to who's going to get the key picks on the Lords and Heroes, I think. Really nice engagements with the Knights of the Black Rose, but they do get countercharged by the vampires here. They're actually able to drag down a few of the knights, in fact. But the other two knights are going to be able to pull back with absolutely no damage done to them. Hexwraiths on the field going to be trying to compromise the knights as they're engaged in melee combat. If they get caught by the Hexwraiths, they might suffer pretty horribly. There's a huge charge bonus available to the Hexwraiths with good weapon strength. They got flaming attacks, magic attacks, and frostbite, so not all good odds on escaping from them if they catch you. Dire Pack's in here. Greatsword's moving up. This is a really cool Empire build. They got triple Greatsword coming out of the reinforcement points now. Going to be waddling up to number 3.
The enemy has captured one of your victory
Empire's got plenty of time to play this game. They definitely don't need to be over hasty as they take these fights. Bright Wizard getting isolated here a little bit. Vampires all over him, but kind of able to escape at a really good cutoff with the zombie summon. But he's just barely able to squeak through. And definitely going to be able to find safety, I think, with all the Outriders nearby. If they just turn around and start shooting at these vampires, then Gondol is not going to have much of an option but to retreat, I think. Hexwraiths do find a good engagement against the Knights of the Black Rose. You can see Knights are getting chipped down here. Would be a really nice opportunity for a Burning Head here, actually. Like, right down the pipe against all of the Dire Pack and the Hexwraiths and the zombies there. Definitely would have gotten a really good chunk of change in terms of value. Elspeth getting jumped on here. Death's Timekeeper needing to be used to keep her on her feet. She's getting absolutely bodied right now by this Vampire. Vampire with the superior combat stats really showing Elspeth who's boss. Also have a huge armor advantage. Wow, man. Elspeth is at a huge disadvantage against those guys. And Navi looks to be on the back foot here. We've got Gondola all over the Empire right now. Great Swords are engaged in the front line. Not a lot to clear those guys. Crypt Ghouls are definitely not going to do much to Great Swords either. Honestly, if you keep Elspeth alive and just have the Great Swords do the majority of the heavy lifting and find a way to kill these Hexwraiths, maybe you're fine. These Hexwraiths are just causing a lot of disruption right now, and you can see a lot of Outriders running currently. 2 units are terrified and or routing. But you do have a decent position here with Knights of the Black Rose collapsing from either side, getting on top of the Hexwraiths and the Dire Pack. This could be where we see the Empire start to grind some value back, but good isolation on the heroes yet again. And no way to stop the vampires so far. On these Hellsteeds, they've been really nightmarish so far for Elspeth and the Bright Wizard. Bright Wizard has no value so far. Skeletons being ground down by the Great Swords. You're just going to have a lot of bodies in here, slowing up the Empire's advance. Spearmen on top of the corpse cart could poke it down pretty quickly, but we do have reinforcements on the way in. Double Crypt Ghoul might be able to help cap this point. There's not a ton of cap weight for the Empire here. Spearmen are wavering currently, actually ending up breaking. Oh my god, that's so awkward, man. How are they attacked in the rear? What? Very baffling. Leadership problems developing for that Empire Spear unit there. We do get the Knights of the Black Rose locking down Isabella. Oh man, and the Vampire with the death magic getting nuked by the Outriders, getting a perfect volley off on this character. I don't think it's going to be salvageable. Down it goes. Brutal shots coming in from the Skirmish Corps. And the Outriders, some of them are a little beat up, but they're going to be able to rally back now and really help get the Empire back in a position where they can start taking some of these points back. The Great Swords are continuing to grind. You can see the number 3 objectives being taken. They've killed just a buffoonish amount of zombies and skeletons, and they've got a lot left to give. Great volleys onto the Vargeist from all of the Outriders. Knights of the Black Rose charging down the Crypt Ghouls, and the Great Swords continuing to anchor this point. I'm gonna flip fairly quickly here. Isabella still flying around. Definitely would be nice to see a Blood Chalice coming out from her, although maybe she's used it on herself. She was a little beat up. It would have been nice to see it come in and get a clutch save on the other Vampire over here, but it is what it is. We've got Royal Altar of Griffites on the field. Very strong unit. Going to be excellent at countercharging the Vampires and Isabella if they get stuck on the ground for a little bit too long. Another Burning Head coming in. The Burning Heads have really started to add up. They've definitely given a little bit of room for the Empire in terms of being able to grind out all the Crypt Ghouls and get this number 2 objective in a fairly timely manner. Number 3, not quite flipping yet. We do have reinforcements up on this objective. Crypt Ghouls on the way in. Good charge with the Vargeist, taking down these Great Swords from the flank. Definitely the game plan here. You need the shock damage to really put in a lot of work for you here. Ah, but a sneaky Huntsman from the reserve hiding in the trees here. We get a really nice initial volley on those Vargeists. You see, the hunger is helping the Vargeists stay in a little bit, but every time they get hit by the Huntsman volley, they're losing about 600 to 700 HP, which they can very ill afford to lose. Beautiful rear charge at the Royal Altar of Griffites. Bye-bye, Vargeists. They are going to get deleted from the game here. Few of them getting up in the air, but their leadership is not really going to rally. They're going to drop a few more models, I think, before all is said and done. They just can't get up in the air here. Royal Altar of Griffites with the pressure, and they are able to take down this Vargeist unit. One more Vargeist remaining. Not enough anti-large. And not enough armor piercing. The Knights of the Black Rose are pretty beat up, and honestly, only one of them's really paid for themselves, but done a pretty good job of holding up momentum. Actually, scratch that. 2 Knights of the Black Rose have paid for themselves, and, you know, they've got a little bit left to give. The other one is still fairly healthy, all things considered. I guess not. They're pretty beat up. I don't know how much more they've got left to give here, but they are locking the Vampire on the ground here. Halberdiers on the field, hanging on to the number 1. ERWD is in the pits right now. The Outrider Corps has been pretty dominant. They've gotten a ridiculous amount of value. Wow, 1,000 on a couple, 1,900 on one. One over here is 700. Still paying for itself. Outriders looking really, really strong as of late. See, they have some accuracy problems. I don't know what it is about these repeating guns. They either land every single shot or they do this and like 90% of them are missing. It's very funky sometimes, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Navi has a very firm 4,000 gold value lead. Royal Altar of Griffites are all over the Vampire now. This Hellsteed is fairly good against lightly armored stuff, but the Royal Altar of Griffites have a ton of armor, and they're an anti-large AP unit. I don't know what's going on with them, though. They don't actually seem to be locking down the Vampire very well. They do get hit by Master of Beguilement, lowering their melee attack by 40. Maybe that has something to do with their attack patterns here. They do get the surround, and now you can see them really starting to chip away at the HP here. Brutal damage. Wow, That opponents versus large making up for the loss of the melee attack here more than enough, apparently. Blood Chalice of Bathory going down. Gonna heal cap that vampire in no time flat. It's a very strong heal. Outrider shots coming in, doing a lot of damage to their own Knights of the Black Rose. Is a bit of a playing for time scenario, though, for the Empire. They may lose the number 1 ultimately. It is possible, but they've got a pretty firm hold on the number 2 and the number 3 regardless. They've got some infantry units coming in to reinforce, as you can see in the back here. A lot of spearmen. Pistoliers coming out, huntsmen. Taking a little bit of damage from something, but, you know, they're going to finish up this corpse cart in short order. Greatswords continuing to anchor, and the greatswords were absolutely incredible. They haven't really gotten great value, but the kill totals on them is awesome. I mean, 300 kills apiece on all of these greatswords is what you really want out of your infantry in a game like this. And another brutal burning head going down, and Gondola is going to be conceding the game here in a very nice win from Navi. Yeah, good value out of 2 of the Knights, and the third one not doing so hot isn't that big of a deal. Something had to get charged down by the Hex Wraiths, and good isolation on those guys in the Dire Pack was the real turning point for that game, because they got the Outriders free from pressure. The Greatswords were occupying a lot of space, and it was just a matter of time at that point for the Empire without anything to kill these Outriders. They just poked down the vampires, kept Isabella honest, and I don't know what you need to do here for the vampire counts. I really just think that the Crypt Ghouls were very adequately called out by Navi. They are a fairly strong unit nowadays. They do beat up on state troopers, so just refusing any opportunities outside of a handful of halberdiers, spearmen, and the Sigmar Sons, just bringing in all of these armored Empire troops was a really good call-out. Ended up paying off big time for Navigator. Let's get some Empire Bretonia next. Navi just maneuvering through all of the competition here. I think that Navigator, or Elspeth's requirements, I should say, is you have to bring either the Templehof Luminarch, or you have to bring the 3 Knights of the Black Rose, or maybe it's 3 Knights of the Black Rose or Nuln Ironsides. Actually, go take a little peeky poo here. Oh, you don't need to bring the Templehof Luminarch at all. You just need to bring Nuln Ironsides of the Knights. Very cool. Okay, Nuln Ironsides are a good unit, guys. I don't see them get a ton of play, but I've actually really enjoyed my time experimenting with them. I've seen them do really good work in Dowie matchups. They can really brutalize flyers because of the Black Powder Discipline, giving them an absurd boost to their accuracy. Plus 40 accuracy basically means this unit never misses when they're prepared and set up. Elspeth is on horseback again, but this time she's got more than just Death's Timekeeper. We got Spirit Leech, Purple Sun, Life Leeching, and the Pale Scythe, so going for the spell intensity boost so that you can leech down Lewin, I guess. Lewin does have the Lion Shield, so he is going to have some spell resist whenever he pops that, but none at base is going to be a bit of a problem. 22 seconds is a decent duration. I don't know how long it's going to keep him alive, though. Oh, the Grail Relic getting knocked down by the Templehof Luminarch right off the bat. Brutal damage coming in. Is that just one shot, for real? Wow, one shot from the Templehof Luminarch. Basically has killed this Grail Relic already. Nuln Ironsides opening up on the peasant mobs. Not that big of a deal. I mean, you just got to get through these guys no matter what the situation is. Tempelhof is over-pressing a little bit, and this could be a problem for Navi. It is a decently quick unit. It's going to be able to get back to the safety of their lines. The Nolan Ironsides are definitely going to occupy enough space that... Lewin. Oh, no, Lewin. What are you doing, baby? Oh, my God. Wow, the net of Ammontok from the Light Wizard, and then we get a really brutal Spirit Leech and Nolan Ironside volley going off here. Or actually, it looks like the Light Wizard hit the Pegasus Knights. Oh, and it was the net of Ammontok from the Tempelhof Luminarch, and we're going to see a very dead Lewin in moments here, maybe. He does get the Lion Shield up, so he is weathering this fire better than he would be, but you can see how punishing missile play can be. Even for a Lord that has missile resistance, ward save, and the Lion Shield active, mitigating all of that damage, he still is on death's door and breaks, losing his passive heal. Ladies Champion worn off already. Paladin diving to get after the Tempelhof Luminarch, but Elspeth body blocking a bit, and the Nolan Ironsides point blank right into this guy's back, taking him out real quick. He's going to be going down pretty shortly here. Feral Manicore summon from Bretonia, it seems. They got the Beastcaster. Lewin gets hit by one more shot from the Tempelhof Luminarch, maybe? I guess not. He just shatters, and that's going to be a huge loss because the Bretonian leadership is really not going to be able to hold up here. The Pegasus Knights are doing a little bit of hit and run, but they're just so tattered at this stage already. I think that Bretonia just overpressed early. This is just one of those circumstances where I think Pont was getting a little antsy. Over-pursued with Lewin and got punished for it, and now it's just going to be Navigator trying to maintain the integrity of the front line, clean up the last few mobility tools here for the Bretonians. And then the two very healthy Nolan Ironsides should be able to ice out any of the remaining forces. That Purple Sun Azirius nailing these poor Battle Pilgrims. Oh my god, dude. Their HP was tanking. Elspeth, a beautiful cast on that. And Pont seeing the writing on the wall is going to call the game there, which I think is definitely the way to go about this. Good value on the Nolan Ironsides, 1,100 apiece on these two. Or I guess 1,100 and 1,051. Only 500 on the other, but, you know, pretty respectable considering they were only on the field for... That was like a 5-minute game, guys. This was a very short match. Tempelhof Luminarch got some good value. Demigryph Halberds doing some hammering there. The Empire Knights also hammering at the Pegasus Knights. Poor Lewin, dude. 0 value Lewin. 1,000 value Paladin. I mean, he got some work done, but it was just grim after that early net. It happens. You gotta be so careful around Light Wizards and Empire builds that have very heavy missile play. Treb might have been good. A Treb would have been nice. I just don't think it would do a whole lot. They did have double cannon in reserve. I mean, the cannons would kill the trebuchet, but on that map there is tree cover. You could probably maybe keep it behind the forest in the middle of the map on Utsuchi Castle, and maybe the cannons wouldn't be able to shoot the Treb down. That's a bit of a pipe dream, maybe, though. It's hard to say. We're going to keep moving through our replays. We got a handful left, not that many. We got the Empire Mirror match here, which is going to be kind of fun. Greenskin Tzeentch, Skaven Dark Elves, and then we should have the finals, which I believe will be done. Yeah, Empire Skaven Finals, baby. Okay. Oh, wow. We're going to have... wow, that's going to be a really aggressive losers bracket, then. If you want to know what the word is on the future of the Legendary Lords tournaments, then go check the Discord out, because there is an exciting update from Twist as to how the losers bracket side of things is going to be handled. I'm very excited for that. I'm going to be getting back in and trying with Skulltaker again, and maybe even practicing some High Elves. Zelthorian actually felt pretty good. He was fun to play with. I definitely just need a little bit of a touch-up on my High Elf play, though. So, Grom the Paunch is going to be rolling forward. He's got the Great in his ear. Language of Du Bois. He's going to be very useful for keeping any routes going down. What the hell is this? An Exalted Lord of Change? Somebody clearly did not get the, What am I looking at here? Is this even from this tournament? Hold on, guys. What the hell is Vinci supposed to be playing? This is so funny. Don't know what's going on here, but whatever, we'll just watch the game, I guess. Why not? Free replay. One Legendary Lord showed up to do his business. You know, we got Grom here. The Exalted Lord of Change doesn't have... You don't have a blue Firecaster into the Greenskins. That's a big mistake, in my opinion. You really want blue fire because you got a lot of regen on these greenskin lords. They're also fairly squishy if they don't have regen, and they have pretty low armor like the war boss and blah blah blah. So it's a pretty good bet that you're going to be able to get some good value against your opponent's lords. Just by constantly casting blue fire. So the River Troll Hag is getting beat up pretty badly right now. The Exalted Lord of Change is putting in some work. Going to be getting back up in the air. Orc Airboy's going to get hit by a Searing Doom. Pretty good timing on that. Missing him a little bit, but respectable enough damage that I think it was worth it. Definitely want to hit Rugloods as well, though. The Rugloods are a very dangerous unit. Orc Boy's just screaming forward. Martinius going really deep right now, going very aggressive. On a really good pump wagon charge right up through the Forsaken. Oh my god, just absolutely flattening over those guys. Getting up into the blue horrors here. Pinks need to get organized. They're a little bit outside of the concave, but Vinci is getting them in line now to get some very effective volleys off, and they're roasting down the Orc Boys and the Squig Herd here. Going to be a nice overcasted Searing Doom on the Rugloods. They're going to have a hard time getting out of the radius since it's the overcast one. Losing a full third of their HP in one go there. Pump Wagons continuing the aggressive dives with Grom assisting. Goblins up in the trees now, and the Orc Biggins are on the flank here. Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch are a little out of position. They're not getting a whole lot of damage on the Goblins right now. They're missing a lot of their Javelin shots. Since they're on the reverse side of this slope, they're having a hard time firing over the crest of it here. See how many of those shots are just passing over the heads of the Greenskins right now. Martinius got a really good Fate of Buna off. You can see the Blue Horrors just getting wrecked by the Snotling Pump Wagons right now. Tzeentch Army ability coming in and getting a little collateral on the Rugloods, as well as taking down a couple of Pump Wagons, it looks like. Well, just one, it seems. But no mass to save the backline here. But Grom is getting beat up by Exalted Lord of Change. Get the Fury Summon coming in. This guy does have the Portal Glyph, which is a pretty good item in campaign. Doesn't have all of the other, goodies from campaign, but it does still summon out a Fury, and Furies are always good. Even if the basic Chaos Furies are a little bit lacking compared to the Mono God options, they still have decent damage output. They're going to do a good job of occupying the attention of the Rugloods and the Squig Herds for the time being, and maybe allowing a kill on Grom. Need to keep the pressure up on him. But I guess you do have the Screamers surrounding him, and they should be able to poke him down or just run him off the field. Front line, though, is just a complete shambles for Tzeentch. They've got Chaos Warriors up on the point, and that's really it. And they're isolated by Squig Herds into the absolute sunset. There's 3 Squig Herds on all of this infantry here. And the Marauders are not going to do very well into the Squigs. The Marauders are going to get chewed up fairly fast here. The Chaos Warriors will hold on for a little while, but even they're going to start to falter against the anti-infantry AP damage that these Squig Herd offer. Tzeentch Fury coming in for the Orc Airboy. Martinius' build is pretty clean, and a lot of people go for Savage Orc Airboys and don't even think twice-wise about the vulnerability of that unit to magic damage. Standard Orc Boys, very, very, very solid unit. Cheap, cost-effective, tons of ammo, fairly accurate, despite, you know, not ostensibly being the most accurate missile units in the game. Greenskin archers tend to just have a good way to fire that can really wear down big, expensive units like this. You can see the Rugloods starting to poke down the Exalted Lord of Change. His shield is gone, finally. He's starting to suffer a little bit, and Grom being off the field is causing some leadership problems here, for sure. Now, Grom didn't die. He did get chased off by the Screamers, so that Lord Fleeing penalty is going to go down over the course of this game. But this is the opportunity for Tzeentch to really counterpush here. You can see the Greenskin units are all having problems with the leadership because of that -16. It's just so punishing for a faction that has a lot of units with 50 leadership or less. Add into that the Exalted Lord of Change, the Terror Routes here, really starting to cause some problems. I don't know how a rule break gets handled in this format. I don't even know if Twist is aware of this game being a rule break, but I just don't know who Vinci is supposed to be playing. Like, I was fairly certain that the only Legendary Lord available for Tzeentch was Sartorial, and we saw that game get played out in round 1. So I don't know who he's supposed to be on. River Troll Hag eating some pink horror fire, although this could be from the is this from the other tournament? This might be from the other tournament, actually. Fury's attacking the Fanatics here, getting some good work done. Cap situation's looking really good for the Greenskins right now, but the number 2 is flipped very, very firmly in favor of Tzeentch right now. You know, really nice Plague of Rust on the Black Orcs with the Exalted Lord of Change helping out the Forsaken. We could see the Black Orcs going down here pretty fairly quickly. Taking a lot of damage. Another Tzeentch army ability comes in, hits the River Troll Hag, and does quite a bit of work against her. Grom is rolling through. He's going to be trying to charge down the Forsaken and help out his Black Orcs. Black Orcs holding up really well here despite the debuff to their armor. They should be able to move up and help the Warlords boys resecure the middle objective away from the Chaos Warriors. More Forsaken coming in, pink horrors in the wings. Chaos Furies of Tzeentch flying around. Screamers have done really good work, but they're very low. They might get worn out in a moment here. Nice Searing Doom. Brutal damage going down on the Warlords boys. The Black Orcs not doing a whole lot better. They don't take nearly as much damage. They look to be they look to have been a little bit more spread out than at first glance, so they avoid quite a bit of the damage, but still suffering a little bit. Forsaken getting obliterated by the Black Orcs right now. Black Orcs, against really high melee defense units, like Chaos Warriors, can struggle at times. But with the buffs from Grom and with the weapon strength and the low melee defense of these Forsaken just get deleted from the game. Barely lasting about 20 seconds in combat here, and now you've got the Exalted Lord of Change isolated against Grom and the Forsaken here. Tzeentch brought it back a little bit, but now they're right back to looking super depleted and just not having the tools that they need to win this game. Greenskins have a lot of time to play for the points. They've got a double cap again now. That's going to continue to cause issues and get a beautiful Spirit Leech as the Exalted Lord of Change is trying to retreat here. 2,200 value on our big chicken here. Grom not doing nearly as well, but he's going to be a nice X factor in the late game. ITP imbuement and the radius around him will be great. Great in his ear is a really good buff as well. And he should be excellent at charging down the Forsaken that might be coming up. Or the Blue Horrors. Blue Horrors are very vulnerable to these Chariot characters as well.
Killed an enemy lord.
So the Lord of Change is going to crumble out and go back to the warp. Very unfortunate he wasn't able to escape. Or Boar Boy Biggins are scrapping against the Screamers. Should be able to win that fight. Screamers are a fine enough unit. But they're fairly squishy. They just don't have a lot of HP. That's like the tried and true failing of a lot of demonic units. It's the low HP totals they have. If they get engaged in a bad fight, they tend to crumble out fairly quickly, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see them falter in a few moments here. So the River Troll Hag with 1,100 value, she hasn't been amazing. I'm very surprised to have seen these Lord choices here. Which is why I think this is the Legendary Lord's term. I just can't puzzle it out, because there's a lot of things that don't seem to be, like, fitting the picture quite right. Squidcurt's getting roasted by that Blue Horror Fire. Really good volley there. Screamer's finally going down. Blue Horror's here, 2 locked up, and not very good in melee combat, so they should get ground down by the Black Orcs without any issue here. Nice charge with the Boar Boy Biggins. Trouncing the poor Pink Horrors there. Forsaken maneuvering and looking to get into combat now to help out their fellow fighters. Not going to find a very good engagement here, though. The Blue Horrors have crumbled out, and now they're going to eat a charge, and that's going to be a pretty nice win for the Greenskins here. Little back and forth. Tzeentch had a moment where they could get back into that, but Grom comes back out. River Troll Hag gets some clutch Spirit Leeches, and Big Ol' Chicken goes down, and that's going to be a win for Martinius here. Without knowing the intended forecast, or the... Okay, what's the word? Son of a bitch. Okay, Twist. You got me. That was a good one. Okay, so it was a rule break, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Martinius had that well in hand regardless. Twist is trolling me in the Discord here. Very well played. You got me. I've been had. Here we've got Scrambled Egg going up against the Dark Elves. Look at Scrambled Egg's Skaven builds, dude. They have been absolutely bonkers. How often have you seen a Skaven player not bring more than 10 units? Because I think this is, what, 9? Yeah, this is 9 units on the field for the Skaven. You got 2 Shades, Marathi up in the sky. You got double K9 Assassin. It's honestly a fairly meta build, all things considered, for the Dark Elves. The only part of this that isn't meta is Shades. But hey, I mean, they're not a bad unit by any means. K9 Assassins are very dangerous nowadays. I've seen Dark Elf players use them to pretty ruinous effect. This Web of Shadows alone is an excellent counter to a lot of heroes. Because it is a Spirit Leech type of effect and lowers speed. So very hard to escape from those guys often. Cold One Knight's going to be pulling back through the Bleak Swords there. Good opening volley from Ikit Zap Zap Cannon. We're going to see a Wand of Koraidon being used here. Definitely going to put some hurt down on Ikit. Oh my god, brutal. 800 HP lost on him. Doombolt's obviously got a huge buff, and the Overcast version is massively overpowered. The Undercasted version is respectable, which is why the Bound versions are not so controversial. You see them pretty often from Doomfire Warlocks and whatnot. Really nice Melkoths being used to hammer the Teethbreakers early. Just finding a great opportunity to utilize that 300 range on the Overcasted spell. You can see it lowers their HP by about a third. A couple more of those and they'll be off the field, which will be awesome. And Kena Assassin's moving around the flank. They're looking to get the Rattling Guns locked down, get the Teethbreakers, go after the Warp Fire Throwers, or get the Natty Boobos and the Zap Zap Cannon, potentially. They do get tar-pitted by the Clan Rats, though. They get very trapped up in these guys as well. Going to be very hard to extricate them. Nice Shade Volley coming in. Teethbreakers taking quite a bit of damage. Bleak Swords waiting in the wings, getting hammered right now by the artillery. I would love to see that. Nice Web of Shadows going down. You can see Ikit is going to be peeling out of here immediately. Does not want to lose a bunch of HP engaged against these guys. Pizu is smart. He's gonna wait until the first one wears off and then pop the second. Although with Ikit getting out of that fight, you probably just save it for the time being. Got Wolf Rats in here with all of the Clan Rats in the world. I mean, I don't see how these Kena Assassins are going to escape at any point in this game. Shade's getting pummeled by the artillery right now. The other Shade is getting set up, but good fire from the Teethbreakers and the other Rattling Gun, as well as the Natty Boobos. Natty Boobos are such a nasty unit, man. See them dropping those big shots from their Jezzails, cleaving through the entire unit of Shades, chunking through that HP nice and quick. Barathi getting hit by a volley from the Rattling Guns here, but she is in the trees, so she should be able to pull out and find a position of safety to work from. Storm Vermin are really messing up the front line of the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves don't have anything to clear out the Storm Vermin. Not that big of a deal, though. Beautiful, beautiful Wand of Koraidon there. And we get the next, we get a Soul Stealer. Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, I don't think the Web of Shadows has a cast range. Definitely doesn't. But that Soul Stealer getting Ikit down to 1,300 HP. Danger zone for him. You have the Cold One Knights piling into the Clan Rats here, doing a little bit of damage, but not really where you want Cold One Knights to be occupied. Dark Riders looking to get up through the openings here. You could shut down both these Rattling Guns because they are very heavily overlapped currently. That would be a big catch. But you still got to contend with the Natty Boobos and the Ikit Zap Zap Cannon on the way in. And those will fold you up if they get a couple of accurate volleys off. Rat Ogres coming through. Dark Riders look like they just want to turn around and find the nearest target. Kind of running into the Storm Vermin here. Not too clean of an engagement from the Dark Elves, I would say. Definitely leaving a lot to be desired in terms of value on the table. I'm going to need to restart my game. Starting to do this stuttering nonsense again. Cold One Knights moving in. They're going to get a good rear charge here against the Rat Ogres for sure. But the Storm Vermin are going to still be able to anchor here pretty nicely. And look at the firepower just wearing these guys out. So brutal. Looking real ugly right now for the mobile units of the Dark Elves. They do get some Dark Riders in the back line, but Wolf Rats coming in with Rat Ogres behind. Gonna clean that up very quickly. Natty Bubo's gonna get set up again. They should be able to throw down some serious firepower against the Witch Elves and the remaining Shades, and I wouldn't imagine that it's gonna be going too favorable for the Dark Elves from there. Canine Assassins have not done anything. They have been stuck in garbage all game. Very unfortunate loss here. Would have been great if they could have maneuvered around in this backfield, just getting on top of the weapon teams and not allowing them to fire cleanly. That would have made a big difference here for the Dark Elves. Well, Pizu with some good focus fire here in the late game. It's kind of making a bit of a comeback. Value is very even. If you can kill Ikit in a few minutes here, like Marathi killing Ikit could absolutely swing this game for the Dark Elves. Leadership problems would be very hard to deal with. Brutal Doomflayer damage, though. Oh, these Witch Elves get wrecked by a good charge from this Doomflayer. Full 300 value, and they've barely been engaged here. Yeah, Rattling Guns wearing down the remaining Shades. Look at them getting wrecked right here. Oh my god. Just bits and bobs flying off of these poor Shades right now. Knights of the Ebon Claw coming in. Terror causing Coldwind Dread Knight. Are they going to get something done here? I just don't know, man. It's going to be really tough. Marathi has gotten 2,500 value. The Wands have been good. Melkoth's has been pretty strong. Don't know how much magic she has remaining. There aren't really that many weapon teams left, but what is here is a Rattling Gun, and that is going to be a pretty effective deterrent for this flying character. Making her way into any fights. Knights of the Ebon Claw maneuvering over, just trying to save this point here. It's gonna be, what the hell was that? Oh, Warp Lightning coming down. Actually gets some good damage to the Knights of the Ebon Claw as they're pulling back. Really nice stuff. We haven't seen the same thing twice from, Scrambled Egg. Not bringing Howling Warp Gale against Marathi is interesting. Although I guess the idea is that you're expecting her to not come in on the Pegasus. So Warp Lightning is there just to give you some value and punching power against cavalry like this. Rat Ogres are just rushing in after the poor Knights of the Ebon Claw. They do get a Death Frenzy here. Death Frenzy is a pretty nice buff. You just don't see it too often because of Flensing Ruin and some of the other spells being really overpowered for the Skaven. But there it does a little bit of work. We get the Coldwind Knights over here being cleaned up. Doomflayers are pretty damaged, but they've got about, you know, a third of their HP. They should be able to continue charging stuff down. On just providing mass for these Skaven slaves here. Oh my god, and the Dark Riders getting lit up by the Rattling Guns from the flank. Rattling Guns will die to this Melkoths, though. You can see it's going to take them down to 35 HP. Nothing left in the bank for them. A lot of Rat Ogres hanging around here, being really annoying and mucking up the works, man. All these clan rats poking down these expensive knights. Knights of the Ebon Claw have been very lackluster so far on this. Oh my god, dude. Triple teamed by just a horde of disgusting Molder monstrosities here. And my FPS just dying. A horrible death here. As all the magic in the world just tanks my frames here. Clan Rats walking up to the points. You know, Pizu does have a decent chance at maybe finding a way to cap one of these points and just hold on for dear life, because the Skaven don't have any tickets, hardly. I mean, they're sitting here with 363, and we're 10 minutes into the game. So there's time for the Dark Elves to work with. It's possible that they can find a way into this game. Ikit being alive, though, is just such a pain. If you could kill him and have all these low leadership Skaven units forced into head-to-head fights, you could get a lot of really good leadership breaks. And find a way to clutch this out, maybe. You just need this 1 point for, what? Yeah, 320, or 220 seconds, so about 3 minutes. Which really is fairly doable, but the Skaven have a lot of cap weight coming from the number 3 right now. And some fairly high-quality units mixed into this, with all the Doomflayers and the Rat Ogres. Not going to be a very nice situation for the Dark Riders and the Bleak Swords here, fighting all that. And a really good volley from the Warfire Throwers. Roasting the Dark Riders pretty good. The Dark Riders are going to get in position. They get their attack order. They're going to be able to collapse on this unit, but really good peel from Scrambled Eggs, sending over the Rat Ogre. I'm going to start beating up on these Dark Riders here in a moment. You can see starting to chunk through their HP. Elsewhere on the battlefield, we have Dark Riders occupying Doomflayers. Doomflayers and Rat Ogres and Clan Rats fighting the Bleak Swords, who are suffering a little bit here. They're holding pretty nicely. They just have good leadership. It's always nice to see them able to handle themselves. Big numbers over here for the Dark Elves. On the number 1 right now, Witch Elves with Dark Rider support, trying to make it happen. Rat Ogre's actually getting hit by Melkoths. It's not super effective against Rat Ogres, but any little bit of damage against the heavy hitters here is needed. Your Witch Elves could clear out everything else but the Rat Ogres, really. You see the Dark Riders get a rear charge here, which is pretty nice, but they don't land it all the way home. They could have broken the Rat Ogres. Oh, man. Very fortunate for the Dark Elves that these Rat Ogres do break anyways. Crazy close game. Number 3 very well in hand for the Skaven now. Number 1 is still being piled in on Morathi with how much value? 3,500 value Morathi. It's crazy how well Morathi does in these kind of games. She's just so effective with the halberd and the magic. I mean, Melkoth's is very consistent. The Wand of Corydon is very strong with the Doombolt effect now. Rat Ogres making their way back in from out of the trees here. Skaven Slaves rallying up to the point. Wolf Rats all over the objective as well. The Bleak Swords are just not going to get it done alone. Coldwind Knights, I don't think are going to be able to do a whole lot here either. Scrambled Egg is leaving a nice little force to defend the number 3 with some Clan Rats. Beat up Rat Ogre looks like it might be hanging out, but it's going to move over now. Doomflayers also looking to move up to the number 1 and just close this out with a very firm hold. Morathi just isn't able to find the opportunities against Ikit. She's constantly maneuvering around after the Rat Ogres and getting good value against them, but it's just not coming in bunches, right? Whereas the Dark Elves are summoning out much more expensive units, Scrambled Egg is just able to throw out bodies, man. And we get some Storm Vermin moving in. You can probably think about unsummoning some of the beat-up Wolf Rats here and getting them back in the pool and then summoning them out ASAP. Look at this, the flip is actually coming in. The Skaven have taken way too long to move up on this point. This has been a very lackadaisical advance so far up onto the number 1. Trying to keep units safe, but I think it's still triple cap territory technically for Pizu. It's a lot closer for Scrambled Egg now, but he's really got to work to get this point back. Even if it is just a just in case kind of scenario, getting this triple cap, I think it's the right call. It'll keep your opponent occupied here at the very least for the remainder of this game, probably. Clan Rats and Spears could get on that point and just make sure that they're holding there. Wolf Rats are just chasing a whole bunch of stuff down. You see the Dark Riders are shattered. It looks like they're pulling back into the trees, and they could get a good engagement on the Coldwind Knights here. Nice Warp Fire Thrower volley. Man, they've been really good. Scrambled Egg seems to know how to utilize the Warp Fire Throwers to pretty good effect. Bodies for the Skaven get up on the point. They are going to flip this in short order, and that will be another triple cap. And with all of the Warp Fire Thrower damage coming down and the leadership discouraging effect, Coldwind Knights might be in danger of breaking in a few moments here.
I knew it.
And that's going to be a tap out. Really well played by Pizu. Wire-to-wire game. Doing everything he can to take a dub there, but the Skaven are just too slippery. Ikit just hid for a lot of the late game there. Natty Bubo's got okay value. Rattling Guns really weren't that effective this game. It really did end up being the Rat Ogre, Doomflayer, and Wolf Rat play that kind of carried that home here for Scrambled Egg. Oh, the Coldwind Knights. A few of them were just really disappointing. Especially the Knights of the Ebon Claw. They just didn't get anything done here. Very disappointing performance from those guys. So these games we've covered, we've got an Empire Mirror match now, and then we'll have a final showdown for you. Whew. Oh my god. Going wall to wall, man. Starting to catch up to me. Oh, Zinch snuck in an extra game. Yeah.
I perceive.
That's fair,
amethyst
Pizu.
vapors
That's
in the air.
understandable.
Let us ensure Shaiish blows in our favor.
You played that really well, Pizu. I mean, the Skaven are really tricky, and the Legendary Lords tournament actually does seem to really shake up, I would say, the power curve for a lot of factions, because I really do feel like we've seen the Skaven do pretty exceptionally well in a lot of the tournament games today. The leadership problems are always the thing that you gotta be careful of, but you know, Scrambled's not really playing the meta Ikit, anyways. I think just the fact that they're able to bring a lot of the same stuff that they normally want to, while other factions have to bring more off-meta options, is what's allowing the Skaven to thrive here. Especially being helmed by somebody who is so skilled in using them, like Scrambled.
Keep it from the foe.
Scrambled is normally known as a Vampire Counts player, but every time I see him play Skaven, I'm always impressed by his ability to manage the Raki. Hawken Long Rifles, waiting in the far back. The Temple of Luminarch is really running these guys down. Martinius is helming the Empire here with Boris Todbringer, so a little bit of a civil war. It looks like Nuln has taken umbrage, perhaps, with Middenland and their efforts at creating their own heavy industry. Creeping forward, definitely want to hit the Hawkland Long Rifles, I would say. See, they've tried to pull back, but now they're in range. Actually, this is where Martinius should scream forward with these guys and force the Luminarch back. This footsie game really isn't too terrible for the Hawklands. Now that it's running, maybe you just keep them stopped here for a moment. Do you want to hang on to your point? Luminarch is just a little too hard to catch. You can see it starting to line up some shots here. Gonna hurt these Hawklands pretty badly. It only takes 2 models out, though. A little bit of a lackluster shot there from it. Maybe you can just face tank the Luminarch with the Hawklands at that point. Because I can't kill all of them. I mean, there's 3 out on the field now. They can definitely keep Navi honest here. And another shot hitting the ground. Brutal whiff there Templehof Luminarch, what the hell are you doing, buddy? Oh my god. Gross. Hawklands opening up, and a really good dodge from Navigator. Excellent, excellent maneuvering there to keep those guys from landing home a solid volley, which would probably take out about 1,000 HP on this Luminarch. It's very squishy. Doesn't have a ton of armor. Limited HP pool. The damage output on Hawklands just tends to be pretty exceptional. I also don't know if there is any more chariot jank. Because there have been times in the past where chariots have been double hit by missiles that have like the piercing profile where it goes through multiple models. I've seen chariots get chunked down in the past by them very quickly. Hopefully it's not too big of a problem. You can see how cautiously they're both feeling each other out. See all the Empire Knights on the field. You see both sides have a fairly strong front line. I would say Martinius with the greatswords has a slightly better one, of course. You just don't see that on the other side here for Navigator, but the Nuln Ironsides will be able to control them very nicely. Hammer of the Witches out on the field. Hawkland Long Rifles suffering under the weight of the cannon fire a little bit. Hammer is a very good artillery piece. Being an ROR, it has the extra accuracy, reload skill, and all the other goodies that you could want from this thing. Not making great contact with the Hawklands right now, though. Empire Knights looking to tangle against one another out here on the flank. Nuln Ironside's going to be advancing forward a little bit. Martinius did cede the middle point to Navigator fairly early on, but, you know, the points are still pretty well in hand for both sides. Nuln Ironsides get tanked right now. Oh my god, man, they're getting... You don't like to see the Hawken Long Rifles just get to open up on your much shorter range missile pieces like this and get fully bodied the way that the poor Nulns are right now. There's so much shorter range. The Hawklands just have a massive range advantage over them. You need the Nuln Ironsides to really be hammering the greatswords right now. Oh, purple Son of Xerius out here on the edge, though. A little bit of friendly fire, though, maybe. I mean, this Reiksguard is worth about the same amount as an Empire Knight and a Swordsman together, so... What was at first looking like a really good cast, maybe not nearly as good as I was thinking. But we do see a Spirit Leech going off on one of the very weakened Hawklands. You get a good push through into the back line with these Empire Knights. Wow, and Martinius is going to call the game there? Really? I guess the Hawklands being compromised so thoroughly by all the Empire Knights of Navigator is a little too much to handle here. Martinius not having enough to protect his own missile line is discouraging enough that he's just going to throw in the towel. Very slow and bizarre game. Templehof Luminarch got some good damage. I'm guessing that's what got Boris all beat up here. I didn't really get a good opportunity to watch what he was doing. It's focused more on the positioning on the missiles here. After that early opening salvo from the Hawken Long Rifles onto the Nuln Ironsides, it just swung back completely as they started getting shut down. And then I guess, you know, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot from there. Hammer of the Witches just going to pound your own cavalry. You've got your opponent with all the Empire Knights out. They're going to get the Royal Althorfs on the field. They can unsummon any of the Nulns that are too beat up to really do anything and then resummon them. Definitely is a little bit grim. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Moonlander, because there are very, like, consistent ways of dealing with gun lines, but when you're forced to bring certain units, if those units are not good at diving gun lines and you run into a gunline faction, even if it is the Skaven who are a little bit weaker on the power curve in terms of faction, just because they have so much cheap stuff they can throw up and body block you with, those missiles that they do bring in can have an outsized impact. Alright guys, we got our finals game, and I'm gonna dip out after that. I spent a lot of time working on making sure that there was a potential pest problem being dealt with. Ended up not being bad. So I'm very thankful for that. It has meant that I've been a little preoccupied today. And haven't been able to eat a hearty lunch like I was wanting to. So I'm going to need to dip out of here once we're done with our finals match. But rest assured, we're going to get through it. And we're not going to be rushing any. Should be a really good matchup between Navi and Scrambled Egg here. Full mobility build from Navigator right out the gate. Elspeth is assuredly on horseback for how expensive the rest of the units are.
We are the clenched fist of Gnome. By blade and bullet, by magic and might, the Empire shall stand triumphant.
Woo! Let's go! Elspeth sounding badass as hell. Because all of her knights are going to be rocking up to the points immediately, so Navigator going to get an early triple cap. But that's not that big of a deal for Scrambled Egg. Scrambled has always been an exceptionally patient player. Very rarely panics about getting triple capped early. And will wait and pounce when the time is right. So it looks like going to be trying to position up on one side of the map. One side of the map here. Which is a pretty good call if you're playing a faction like the Skaven. You know, obviously you don't have your own mobility to contest the Cav. So you do need to make sure that your slightly slower faction is able to kind of cut off space on the battlefield as much as possible. Because really all you can do as the Empire here is kind of like blitz right up through the middle of the Skaven formation, because if you go deep set like this, you get cut off in the back line pretty easily, even with mobile units like this. You'll just have wolf rats all over them. You'll see rat ogres charging all around them, trying to cut off their avenues of escape. Really nice focus fire from the Ikit Zap Zap cannon. That's the Black Rose losing a lot of HP early on here, Scrambled with a nice little value lead so far. You can see a full flank overload potentially coming in here. Skaven need to contract their line a little bit more, and you can see Scrambled being very obliging and beginning that process right now. These two knights getting very deep in here, man. Definitely need to turn and shoot a little bit against these guys. Ooh, Hochland's opening up on the Warpfire throwers, getting some good damage. Oh no, Elspeth getting nuked right now by the Rattling guns. Really good cast, though, of Fate of Buna on the Teethbreakers. Those guys are going to be basically dead by the time this wears off. I think that they will have such a small amount of HP that they don't even rally. Yeah, man, 300 HP. Really awful stuff for them. Look at Scrambled. Oh my god, the overwhelming force of the Empire Knights. Losing a bunch of weapon teams here, potentially. This could be a catastrophe in the making. Although, a couple of Rat Ogres get engaged in the front line in a really nice fight. Up on the flank of the Knights of the Black Rose, who are going to try and pull back here. Warfire Throwers die. Teethbreakers die. Warplock Gisele's going to die. Natty Bubo's Sharpshooters might die. Eshin Triads coming in. And the Rat Ogres going to do the very best they can to provide some safety for some of these weapon teams. Oof. Oh man, I do not envy Scrambled for trying to deal with Navigator's micro here. Because the Knights have honestly been very well utilized up to this point. A little bit of a slip up here. One Empire Knight going to get jumped on by the Rat Ogres here. They are going to pull back in pretty good working order, though. A little bit of cycle charging on the Clan Rats. Actually don't know if this is really worth the effort for the dive. I mean, your Knights of the Black Rose are just incredibly tattered, but all of the weapon teams have been shut down. Natty Bubos are the last one remaining, and they're not looking too good. Icket Claw and his little Doom Flayers just riding around, looking to drop some Death Frenzies. It's the only, and Warp Lightning, of course. Let's not forget the dreaded Warp Lightning. Hawk and Long Rifles being compromised by Clan Rats for a moment. Empire Knights and Knights of the Black Rose looking to answer that. Playing Vulcan Tail Slashers and the Rat Ogres. Just beating up on whatever they can find here in the front line that's looking isolated. A lot of Knights are being chased off the field suddenly. The Knights of the Black Rose here paid for themselves, but them running off at a very untimely moment when they had so much health remaining is definitely going to be a big issue for the Empire. Small value lead here for Scrambled Egg. You can see just how big this map is. This is by far the biggest map in the entire game, I think. I don't think anything comes even, probably, like, a good 50% larger than the next biggest map, I would say, because Road to Talabheim is pretty large, and it's not nearly this big and sprawling. Eshin Triads and Rat Ogres about to annihilate this poor Empire Knight. A few Natty Bubo Sharpshooters rallying back here. You can see those purple shots arcing their way in to hammer the Hawk and Long Rifles, and that's a really nice situation for the Skaven because they do have snipe, so they can stay invisible while they're shooting. No opportunity for the Hawklands to counterfire that. And with the pressure from all of the Skaven that are getting up into the back line here, that's going to be a huge loss for Navigator. Going to lose both of those Hawk and Long Rifles in a moment here. Middle objective is a little bit chaotic. Skaven definitely need to start thinking about grabbing something other than just the #1 objective here. Look at the back pressure. Hawklands looking to be losing their nerve here, and the Eshin Triads are really not a bad unit, even into stuff like Spearmen. They've got a lot of physical resistance, so they can actually grind pretty effectively with their decent melee defense and melee attack here. Eshin Triads, beautiful Fate of Buna. Those have been excellent in terms of timing and choice of target for Elspeth, and she's gotten some great value out of it all. It's a little deceptive that she only has 1,500 here. I would say, considering the situation, you can probably apply about another 400 value, because it's very weird the way that value is tabulated at times with big spellcasts like that. Against weapon teams and the like, when you're using Fate of Buna on them, because you don't actually kill a bunch of models as much as you just lower the HP total on all the entities in a unit. Oftentimes, it leaves out the fact that those units are usually just one-shot by Buna, and they rout off the field with a lot of their models remaining. You see the back pressure here for the Skaven is pushed back very cleanly. You get some Empire Knights, or actually Knights of the Black Rose that come out, clean up all the Rat Ogres and the Eshin Triads and the Clan Rats that were back here. Not looking great for the Skaven in that respect. They did do a little bit of damage to these Hawklands, but they are very much alive, and you see the pressure on the #1 objective is starting to develop. A lot of spears moving out over there. Natty Bubos did get shut down, I'm guessing, by this Empire Knight jumping on them. See the Clan Rats looking to run off the field here and just escape their pathetic little lives. Rat Ogre's starting to take a little bit of poke. Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers are going to be a nice unit to anchor this point. They will be able to beat up on the Spearmen at the very least. Fairly strong stats for a Skaven baseline infantry unit. You see a lot of bodies developing out onto the #3 as well. Spearmen moving up, but they're a little too slow for the Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats. It's one of the nice things about Skaven Slaves. Oftentimes, stupendously cheap chaff units like this have a hard time capping points, but the fact that Clan Rats have full cap weight means that the Skaven slaves are just uber cheap supplemental cap power that the Empire is going to have a hard time equaling. They can bring out their own units, of course. Like, their Empire State Troopers are fairly cheap. They're about 300 gold apiece. But that's about how much a Clanrat Spear is, also. And then with the Skaven Slaves coming in for 125 a pop as well. See the triple cap coming in for the Skaven. Knights of the Black Rose and Knights of the Blazing Sun will be able to chase a lot of this stuff off. Really nice Warp Lightning there. Poking down the infantry. You can see the Clan Rats are actually looking to form a bit of a bulwark here on the flank so that the Knights can't get good charges off on these guys. Or at the very least, they have to maneuver around to the other side to get the rear charge. Because if you charge from this side, then the Clan Rats are just going to like maneuver right up onto your flank. If your Knights are on the blue line here, then the Clan Rats have to maneuver around a little bit more, I guess, maybe? I don't know. It's a little bit hard to say. Navia is... I don't know how this ended up turning into such a bad position for the Empire, seemingly. They're chasing off the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers here, though. Knights of the Black Rose are maneuvering pretty nicely. Wolf Rats with the Poison are potentially going to compromise this Hawk and Long Rifle. Very inopportune moment for these guys to be going down for the Empire. What are the Knights planning here? Looking like they want to charge this position down, but these are braced Clan Rats, I think. Oh yeah, really good micro from Scrambled Egg, turning them around, so getting the bracing of the charge reflection, and the Knights of the Blazing Sun, rather. Not going to get a very solid charge off there. On the other side of the battlefield here, we do see the flip come in. Empire finally back on the board with the cap, but Skaven did a great job of evening this game up. And a nice brass orb going down, going to lock those spearmen in place for a moment. Very disruptive spellcast, and look at Ikit going after Elspeth. Elspeth is on the horse, but Ikit with the charge bonus and the weapon strength actually able to break her leadership, and Elspeth is running. Oh, but Ikit gets stuck on some of the infantry here. He's got to keep this pressure up on her. Another Warp Lightning going down on Spearman, guaranteeing some value. Instead of going for speculative casts on, like, the Knights who might just pull back out of that zone of effect, the Spearmen are the ones being focused down here, and it's breaking their leadership really nicely, just doing damage to them. And then you got the overwhelming Skaven numbers coming back in on the number 1, and they recap without any issue here. Knights of the Black Rose hanging out with their brethren, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, on the number 2 here, but Skaven have the number 3. Skaven Slaves are eventually going to go down here, but it took the Spearmen ages to break through that, and they've still got 2 units anchoring that point. More Skaven Slave Spears moving up to anchor that objective on the far side. Number 2 is going to flip, but the Skaven with the firm hold on number 1 are going to be able to rally their Rat Ogres and the bodies out over to that point. Start to close off more space for the Empire if they want to, or they could just play off the points they have now.
You have the foes.
Ikit getting caught in the Knights of the Blazing Sun right now. We've got Eshin Triads coming in to try and peel for him. Ikit just needs to stay here and fight. If he stays here and is actually in combat, then at the very least he's withstanding some of the melee attacks of these Eshin Triads. Or of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, while the Eshin Triads try to peel for him. The Eshin Triads get into the fight. Ikit is going to break, and the Triads will go down fairly quickly here, but you do have some follow-up with Rat Ogres and Clan Rats. Definitely going to muck up the works for all these cavalry, and Navi is running out of supplies here. Brings in another Knight of the Blazing Sun. The shock damage is really nice. I will give you that, but it just doesn't seem like they're able to really take advantage of that with how many bodies they keep dogpiling into. Down goes Ikit. His Doomflayer is going to explode there. It's a really fun, like, nuclear effect as his specialized equipment explodes. I imagine he's got his own little, like, mini Doomsphere powering those things. That's my headcanon for it. No Hawkland long rifles is really painful. I guess you've got one here. But they're pretty low on HP, and there are a bunch of clan rats all over them, so... yeah, no Hawklands available for Navigator. The Knights just don't work against Rat Ogres, man. I can't tell you how many times in Warhammer 2 when I was playing Skaven, you just get a big death ball of Rat Ogres in the late game that your opponent can't deal with all their cavalry. Because the armor piercing on the Rat Ogres is pretty substantial. They've got good melee attack, and Shock Cavalry just don't have melee defense to be able to withstand the AP attacks, man. You can see how quickly they're getting dragged down here. Knights of the Blazing Sun anchoring okay. The Empire Knights, they're not doing terrible here on the middle of the Empire. They're anchoring this point, and it looks like the leadership is wavering real bad on the Skaven. Like I said, man, snipes, one way to always pull yourself back into a game. But the Rat Ogres, oh, they just are wavering, but they're not breaking. And Navigators, Cavalry all get stuck in here, and they are the ones looking like they're going to run away here. And Navigator is going to call the game because of the situation here in the middle. Brutal loss. Oh, I just don't understand where it flipped so badly for the Empire. I really thought they were going to win after getting all the weapon teams in the backfield here in the opening minutes of the game. You would figure that that's about as easy of a winning position as you could possibly be in, but Scrambled Egg with the wily plays and the isolations with all the Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres able to slowly wear out the Knights and then also the Hawkland Long Rifles with timely dives. It's going to give him the dub here, and he's going to be the one walking away with the victory for, you know, bragging rights, I guess. He qualified already by getting here. Navigator is also qualified for the future tournament. Now, will be hosted. That's like the winner side of things. We'll have the losers bracket tournaments this next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is what Twist is saying, and we will be seeing who advances from there, and then we'll get an absolutely heavy metal showdown in a couple weeks' time, I'm guessing, where we'll see all of the qualifiers playing off against one another in a fight to the death, man. It's going to be... It's going to be a really difficult time, I think, for a lot of people playing into the Skaven. Scrambled Egg showed off something really special here, I think, to make me feel like him, Final Boss, and probably Charix are going to be the people to beat in that future tournament once they all start scrapping in against one another. Charix, just because it's, you know, the best player in the game right now. Charix is by far the #1 player in my book. Scrambled with just a really solid fundamental understanding of the Skaven and playing a little bit off meta, not doing anything super wild, but also not over-relying on Flensing Ruin and going for Warp Lightning and Death Frenzy is just a really cool mix-up, and it seems like it's really working out for him. And Final Boss played some goated Kugath a few weeks ago. Yeah, right. I think that was the problem for the Empire. Not enough chaff clear. They did a good job of killing the weapon teams, and they were not doing poorly in the front line fight, but just the sheer weight of numbers was overrunning all of the points at once. And once the Empire was split up as much as they were, they just weren't able to crush each individual Skaven position in turn. Yeah, 2 to 3 misplays is enough to lose to somebody like Scrambled. The comeback potential on them is just so wicked, man. Alright, guys. I'm going to go through the Discord, and if there's any other games that people have posted in there, I'll try to do a separate cast of them. so that everybody gets their time in the sun on stream. Great tournament today, and you know, I got a win. I ended up losing to Scrambled, who ended up winning the tournament, so I don't feel too bad about that at all, really. And we got a win in our RTK Changer's Gambit tournament. So the next time I'm playing in that Changer's Gambit tournament, I'm going to have to randomize 4,000 of my funds. 2K in the starting army and 2K in reserve, which is going to be really fun, and it's going to get very wild. So I'll keep y'all updated as to how that's going, and probably cast more games from that tournament as well. So, till then, guys, y'all take care, peace out, and I'll see you guys soon.